white one.
The trumpets of the Pharaoh Tutankhamun, Lord of the Crowns, King of the South and North, Son of Re.
Plenipotentiary Chief Nanya Shaabu.
Now the copper trumpet. And so, after a silence of over 3,000 years, these two voices out of Egypt's glorious past have gone echoing across the world.
I mean, these SF-181 race and ethnicity definitions brought to you by the Office of Management and Budget, the Office of Personnel Management, my nigga, and the U.S. Department of Education. Don't like what I'm saying? Rip up your diplomas, your master's degrees, your PhDs.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
I am white though. 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 Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white. I mean, white is right. Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white. I mean, white is right. Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. Get race of white. White, a person having origins as any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa.
The document doesn't have my email address on it, and your officer led off with the statement, "Isn't Kermit19@gmail.com your email address?" And she felt very confident in saying that, and I said, "That is not my email address." So that's when that's when I told her, you did not do your due diligence. She was supposed to ask me, what is your email address? Instead, she believed what Nicole said. And that's why we're here, because Nicole committed fraud. That's why we're here.
That's not fraud.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, you're entitled to, again, your legal opinion. The fact is we're having this conversation. So that's clear. Yes. And we're having this conversation not because it's frivolous. We're having this conversation because Nicole is the one who went and initiated this. And the whole time she knew that wasn't my email address. And then why because you had started this conversation, and earlier in the conversation you said, well, it's not really her responsibility to go to the court to correct that error, correct?
Well, if she noticed it, she should, but you can't prove one way or another if she noticed it.
No, that's not what I asked you. Because you stated earlier that on Friday, even if she got the order, you stated that she's not really... If there was an error, you stated she's not obligated to inform the court. Am I correct in saying that?
No.
Oh, so I'm incorrect in saying that.
No, I was saying that.
Okay.
We can't prove one way or another if she even noticed it was there.
Well, that was the statement that you made, and
no, I said I said at first glance, like looking at it, they're very similar. It's just one letter that's different. Like just looking at it quickly.
It goes back to the contact, like you said. I'm in her contacts, so she would have known that that's not my email address easily. Kermit, not Kemet. Number one. The next thing is when she went Tuesday, she went out of her way to go to the clerk and try to get the clerk to hurry up and serve me. And in her report on the file number at Windermere, she said he breached due to improper service. So that's a confession. She knew that wasn't the email, but she didn't say nothing.
But this all happened after police were involved. Everybody knows it was improper service.
So that means she deliberately omitted. She knew that. She had the mens reis and actus reis to know that the email was incorrect from the 17th of October up until she went to Windermere. And then after she went and did that, then she's running back to go to the clerks to get them to hurry up and serve me, and admits in the report at Windermere that it was improper service. So she had knowledge prior to that. Period. That's mens reis, actus reis. That's fraud under Canada Criminal Code Section 380. Then she uttering a false document, Section 366.
She didn't utter it. The court did.
No, the court didn't utter a fraudulent document. I'm saying Nicole committed fraud. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not how fraud works.
Fraud is what? Fraud is definitely she knew. She emailed me first.
Okay.
So I'm saying
when you're talking about men.
I'm talking about when the officers came. I don't know if she did the report first and then they came out. I'm not certain of it. Looks like she may have done that afterward. I have no idea until I get that until you all clarify that. But what it looks like to me is that she went to Windermere first. She didn't make an attempt to call me, communicate, or email to me. She went straight there. So that means the point was it was to try to breach me. Meanwhile, she's got a driver's license with my address on it that she's not supposed to be using since her name was taken off the lease on August 16th. That was October 19th when they came to the house. She told the judge she lives in Calgary on October 15th. Then she registered the car in Calgary on October 16th. Fraud. Point blank.
No. You have 2 weeks to re-register your vehicle. So if she said she moved on the 15th,
no.
She has 2 weeks to change her address on her registration.
You missed something, sir. She told the justice that she lives in Calgary. The car didn't get registered until the day after court. Fraud.
Okay. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If she's oh, you forgot something else. My apologies. The justice told her she did not have leave to be in Calgary. So what?
Okay, that's not a criminal. That's family court.
I get that. I get that. I totally get that. However, the justice said you don't have leave to be in Calgary. You do not have a court order to relocate to Calgary. She didn't give the 60 days notice as required under family law, and she didn't have an order to take the children to Calgary, and then goes after the justice told her you do not have leave to be in Calgary, and registers the car in Calgary. So therefore, that's fraud. That's Section 366 of the Canada Criminal Code. Then she turns around and she's using my address on the driver's license. So that's fraud. That's
fraud.
That's fraud. That's insurance fraud. That's uttering a false document. You're giving your opinion. I'm giving you Canada Criminal Code. You haven't given me no statute on that. You haven't given me a statute to count. You haven't given me a statute to counteract that. The fact is, Nicole committed fraud on the court, because if she was living in Calgary already, if she was there like she said she was, why did you go register the car the following day after court in Calgary? Because she wasn't living there. She lied to the court. She committed fraud on the court.
Okay,
Right now at this moment, okay, I'll take perjury. Good, I'll take that. Now she committed perjury. Good. Now the next thing is she's still using this address on her driver's license.
Okay, that's at best a traffic safety act ticket, if nothing else.
That's
not fraud.
Oh, sure it is. She asked. Remember again. I'm clear with dates. August 16th, she thanked our landlord for taking her name off the lease. That's it. As of August 16th, I'll give you your 14 days. That puts you to August 30th. We were in court on the 29th of August in front of, I think it was Justice Manziuk. So August 30th, she's not supposed to be using that address. And then when we went to court on October 15th, she said she was living in Calgary. Her address hasn't been changed between that point of August 30th and August 15th. Then from August 16th, when she registered the car, up to December, what was that? 5th, December 5th, she hasn't changed the address on her driver's license. So she's been committing fraud, point blank. Section 380, Section 366 of the Canada Criminal Code. Your agents aided and abetted under Section 21 of the Canada Criminal Code, point blank. Because when I contacted EPS and told her she was breaching the order back on September 4th, they didn't do anything when she was driving the car with no registration and no insurance on the Mazda. So fraud. She's been doing fraud. She got you guys. She played you. That's what she did. She got you guys wrapped up. You got all emotional, and you guys didn't do nothing. You didn't do no diligence and check up on what she's doing. She lost her wallet last Friday. Somebody comes to the house and delivers me their wallet. I'm like, her wallet. I'm like, she doesn't live here. Well, I have her wallet. I said, what? Yeah, she dropped her wallet. I open the wallet up. What do I see? Her driver's license with my address on it. That's fraud, sir.
That's not fraud.
You're entitled to your opinion. The rules are no. The rule says you've got 14 days to change your address. We've established and agreed to that. So Nicole,
that's in the Traffic Safety Act, not the Criminal Code.
The Canada Criminal Code is fraud. Listen here. I guess I'm gonna have to do it this way. So what is fraud? So since this
I know the definition of fraud is.
Well, I'm going to put it on so it's in the record. Fraud is the intentional act of using deceit, trickery, or misrepresentation to gain an unfair advantage, money or property, causing harm to another person or organization. That's what she did on October 19th, and she got you guys to aid and abet that. Canada Criminal Code is deliberately getting property, money, or services from someone using deceit, falsehood, or dishonest means, causing them loss while gaining an advantage for yourself. That's Canada Criminal Code Section 380. Key elements of fraud in Canada: dishonest act, actus reus, using deceit, falsehood, or other fraudulent means to mislead someone. Deprivation, actus reus, the act must result in depriving someone or putting their property at risk of money, property, or service. Intent, mens rea, the person must have known their act was dishonest and could cause deprivation. Done. You guys aided and abetted her. You helped her kidnap my children. And my children were kidnapped and abducted, and you all aided and abetted that. That is an established fact.
No, the court order says your wife was, or ex-wife was supposed to have the children, so that's not
kidnapping. I thought
kidnapping.
you said you didn't have the court order.
I don't.
Okay, so how do you know that's what it said?
I'm basing it on the police report and what was talked about by you and the other members and your ex-wife.
And so now, I've given you knowledge under Section 21 of the Canada Criminal Code. She doesn't live in Calgary. She said she lived in Calgary and lied to the judge. She don't live there. As of last Friday, hold on, this is all connected. As of last Friday, she lost her wallet and someone brought her wallet to me. And I'm like, I look in the wallet, what is there? My address. So she's still using my address while she's driving the car with the children. That's fraud.
Well, I'm not going to debate fraud anymore because we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
So my children, as of August 7th, were kidnapped and abducted. That's Section 280 and Section 283, 282. That's the Hague statute.
Court order in the police.
No, there was no court order until October. October 15th was no order, and that's just to exchange the children. She didn't get consent from me. You have to have consent under Section 282 and 283. She don't have it. She didn't have leave to be in Calgary. That's already established. That's a judicial fact. She didn't have an order to take the children to Calgary. It's established. My children live in Edmonton. She said she lives in Calgary. She just confessed to the judge she kidnapped my children. You all aided and abetted that. That's why I invoked the Hague Statute on International Child Abduction. That's why I had to contact the U.S. Consulate. I told that to your officers already. My children are already in a border program. So if she tries to get a passport to smuggle them into the U.S., they're already going to be looking for them there and the U.S. State Department. This is kidnapping, point blank. She didn't get consent from me, doesn't have consent from me. And now where we're at, the officers went and aided and abetted the kidnapping because my children were taken out of school on September 12th. This is what what's their names? The attendance board at Edmonton Public Schools told me that the children were pulled out by Nicole on September 12th. So from September 12th up until the October 19th, my children were not in school. That violates the Education Act. That violates the Family Law Act. That violates the Criminal Code. So when she took the children, they're not going to school. That's kidnapping. That's harboring. That's keeping them away from me. I'm the one that's filing documents. Nicole ain't filing nothing in court. So she doesn't have my children's best interest. Your officers aided and abetted a kidnapping. That's what they did. And they continue to aid and abet. This is why we're talking. Because you all know this.
Well, again, that's your opinion. It's not a kidnapping. So
listen, my children ain't been to school since September 5th. And they were taken up September 12th. They weren't going to school anywhere. Kidnapping, point blank, that violates the Education Act under Section 7, Section 11, Section 13. My daughter is 7 years old. It's mandatory that she must be in school. She wasn't in school from since September 5th. So when you all came to take them on the 19th, she's not in school. Kidnapping, abduction, Hague Statute on International Child Abduction. That's what it is. That doesn't apply. Oh, yes, it does apply because, again, I'm informing you because you don't know this. Your insurance company and your insurance underwriters, they're all watching what I have on Facebook. I'm getting all these insurance companies. I'm like, why are they watching? I said, oh, they underwrite EPS and they're connecting party. I said, oh, y'all insurance rates, your premiums are going to go through the roof because they're having to manage risk and handle risk for Edmonton, Alberta, and for Canada. So when German insurance companies and insurance companies from the U.S. are on my Facebook page, they're on Facebook pages of members of our nation and other people, and they're like, who's this insurance company in Germany? I said, yeah, because they underwrite Edmonton. They watching all of this. The whole planet is watching all of this. Kidnapping, abduction, that's what it is. That's why nobody is questioning Nicole. And this is the problem you guys are going to face, because by you all not questioning her, checking her fraud, you all are complicit. Now you guys have to talk. Nobody wants Nicole to say nothing. She is going to have to talk at some point, because once people start losing their jobs and their pensions over her fraud, that's when they realize it's real. That's why you're calling me. You guys have liability. I know that. Your insurance underwriter might be already investigating you all and asking you for, hey, what's going on with this? Kidnapping.
The city's actually self-insured. We don't have underwriters.
Oh, yes, you do. You're not self-insured.
Okay.
So, again, and if that's the case, then give me the policy number. And if they're self-insured, I didn't know the city of Edmonton was an insurance company. So the point.
They're not their city, but you can underwrite yourself. But anyways.
Yeah.
Again,
well.
I'm not gonna change your opinion.
That means the city's balling. Okay. The city got dollars. Okay. So that's the fact of the matter. So when my daughter and my son were taken out of school on September 5th, and the officers came here on the 19th to force me to give them up, from September 5th to October 19th, that is more than 3 weeks. That's longer than the strike that the Alberta teachers strike went on. My children weren't going to school. So since they were not going to school and my daughter was 7, it's mandatory that she should have been in school. She wasn't registered anywhere in that time period. Kidnapping, abduction. And you guys aided and abetted it. That's why we're talking. Because you all are supposed to tell her, oh, how old's the daughter? Oh, she's 7. Where is she going to school? You didn't do that. No Child Protective Services came in. Nobody came in. You guys didn't know this. Nicole did a fabulous bang-up acting job on you. She got you all good. That's why you're talking to me. Because when I called in a missing persons report on August 11th to find out where my children were at, the dispatch said, Nanya, we're not going to do anything. So that right there shows you all don't follow your law. You don't follow your statutes. You don't take none of that, because you realize Nicole has made you all commercially liable. This is why we're talking. You're not calling me. You know most of this. So you're not calling me for that. You're calling to see what is it that I know. And I'm knowing more stuff than you guys do. I'm like, Nicole is omitting stuff. That's going to get you guys, you're already liable. You all have to question her, and she won't stand. You start interviewing her, she will fold. She will fold within 15 seconds. She will not be able to handle your direct questioning. This woman committed fraud. The woman took off on the 7th, kidnapped and abducted my children. She didn't go to you guys for 2 days. Why did she go to Denny's? Ask her that. Why did you go to Denny's? Why on August 7th? Why did you go to Denny's? Why did you sleep in the car with the children overnight? Child endangerment. Kidnapping, abduction. Told her, bring the children home. You want to stay in a hotel? You stay in a hotel for the night. We'll figure something out, but the children got to come home. Kidnapping, abduction, that's what it is. You guys aided and abetted that. She didn't go to you guys for 2 days. That's not no emergency. That's somebody thinking, what plan can I come up with? And now you know. Now I've given you knowledge. So you must stop and correct the wrongs that Nicole has done. Failure to do so, you qualify under Section 21 of the Canada Criminal Code of aiding and abetting. Period.
All right, so this is just kind of going in circles. I'm assuming there's no way that this is going to be resolved by a phone call?
What is it you're trying to resolve?
Well, the complaint you put in with our professional standards branch.
Yes, and what is it about that? What is it that you're looking to resolve? Like, because you're saying the complaint, but what specifically?
I guess all of it, but you're stuck that this is fraud and kidnapping and abduction. And
well, again, I'm going to bring up the Education Act. The Education Act says
that's not related to policing.
Yes, it is related to policing because you all have a responsibility, especially when you have things involving matters involving children. The fact is, my daughter, it's mandatory. The child must be in school 6 years or over. Mandatory. She took them out of school. I didn't get notice from the school. I didn't get any letter or any information. I only just found that out recently, that they were taken out of school on the 12th. So she took them out of school. I'm the one that registered both of them. And she's a permanent resident. She's not even a Canadian citizen. And now she's hiding, not telling me where the children are at. Now that the EPO is done, okay, where are the children at? Where are you staying at? Because there's no protection order anymore. She's not stable. She said she lived in a shelter in Calgary. This was on October 14th. So when you guys came to the house on the 19th to get the children, my daughter hadn't been going to school since September 5th. That's over a month out of school. Yes, you have an obligation, now that you know, to find out why were these children taken out of school? Why were they kept out of school? Why are they not in school? Like, come on, man. I can see this already what the deal is. Hide the children. That is obstruction. That's kidnapping. That is abduction. So your officers aided and abetted that situation on the 19th by having me surrender under threat, duress, and coercion. My children saying you're going to breach me, and you didn't even do your due diligence to confirm. It didn't come till afterward. And then the whole time she's using my address. So from August 16th up until October 19th, my address is not supposed to be on that driver's license. That's why you're aiding and abetting. Under that Traffic Act, 14 days. So from August 16th, she wasn't supposed to have my address on her driver's license. And somebody found it and brought it to the house last Friday. Fraud. So she'd been committing fraud the whole time. Thank goodness I caught her on Facebook Live and that video was up for everybody to see. So it doesn't matter. You guys aided and abetted. You now have to assume the liability, the human rights violations, the charter rights violations, Section 7, Section 11. You guys are in it. So how do you resolve this? You question Nicole why she didn't change her address on the driver's license. I want to know how she's got insurance. So that's obviously she's using my address to register the car and get insurance. That's fraud. Insurance
is totally separate from registries.
You can't register a car unless it's insured. So in order for her to insure, the insurance is going to want an address. They're going to want a driver's license. They're going to want, what's your permanent address? She's going to have to tell them this. That's the only way she could get insurance.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. Come on, man.
You can put whatever mailing address you want in your insurance company.
I didn't say I agree with you, but I didn't say mailing address. I said, what's your address? You're correct, but I didn't say mailing address. So she has to present her driver's license. The driver's license has my address on it. That's insurance fraud. Because she don't live here.
And what do you know? How do you know what she submitted to the insurance company?
Pardon?
How do you know what she submitted to the insurance company?
Oh, that's easy because the driver's license got my address on it. She ain't changed that.
Okay, but how do you know she submitted that to the insurance company?
Oh, because she's using my driver's license. Because her driver's license has my address on it. So,
I understand that.
Yes.
But how do you know that's what she submitted that address to the insurance company?
Because again, you're missing what I just said. But I'll say it. This is wonderful. What happened was she lost her wallet last Friday.
I know. I got that.
Somebody came to the house
with your address
and and it has my address on it. So therefore, she's using my address to get services. So it's
no, she's not.
Yes. Oh, you know that for a fact. How do you know she's not using that? How do you know? Oh, okay, good. How do you know? You messed up. Go ahead. How do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, so you made a presumptuous statement. I got her ID. I got her ID. That's facts. That's evidence. I'm like, why is my address on her driver's license? Back in October, I'm getting mail for her with my address on it. Again, I'll reiterate for the recording's sake. She was taken off the lease on August 16th. So any woman who says they're scared, I don't feel safe, why are you using the address of someone you are in fear of? You don't do that. Furthermore, no contact, direct or indirect. So from August 16th up until October 19th, she's still using the address. And I told her lawyer, tell her to stop. I told her lawyer to stop. Tell your client to stop using my address for her mail and for having Amazon packages come here. So here we are. December 5th, loses the wallet. I look, what is this? Oh, so she's using that. So that means when they ask for ID, she's giving them that and people are thinking she's living there. So she gets into an accident that you officers aren't going to sit there and say, what's her mailing address? You're going to sit there and say, oh, this is where she lives. Fraud. Come on, Todd. I know my stuff. That's fraud all day long. That's identity theft fraud. That's mail fraud. That's uttering a false document. Like, come on. What, are you all scared to question her? That's what it seems like. She must be the devil's daughter or something. Nobody wants to question her. Everyone's scared of her. Or is she a police informant now? Is that what it is? She got a job as a police informant? Is that what it is?
I highly doubt that.
Oh, well, I'm more inclined to say that is the case because nobody's questioning this woman and she's breaking the law left, right, center. You catch her on video. People are saying, I'm getting people canceling meetings. And I said, why are you canceling? I said, oh, she probably lied to them. I'm catching this woman lie to the court, lie to the judge, lie to everybody, but nobody's touching her. So that's the only way I could be inclined that she's a confidential police informant. Because if she really was innocent, she would not be using an address that she thanked our landlord for taking her name off of the lease from August 16th. We're in December. She lost she lost her driver's license. And what happened? Somebody brought it, and I looked. She still has the address. Now, she told the judge she lived in Calgary. Why isn't there a Calgary address on the driver's license? Because she don't live there. She lied. Fraud. Mens reus, actus reus. That's what it is, man. I can accept that. It seems like you all are having a hard time accepting that she got you all. She played you all real good. And I know it's embarrassing that someone like her can outsmart police officers, and she did it. So now you all have to assume the liability, and it's not going to end. This gets resolved, you questioning her. You know what you got to do. You know you got to charge her. But the problem is if you charge her, see, I'm giving you all this because y'all want to know what I know, so there's no problem. Your danger, your dilemma, and why you're calling me is because if y'all charge her, she gonna talk. She gonna snitch on all of you all. That's what your concern is. That will bring down the judiciary. That will bring down EPS. Their reputation will be shot. How this woman was able to outsmart you all. So it's either you all were complicit under Section 21 of the Canada Criminal Code or highly incompetent. So that's how you resolve this. Ask her, why is she still having my address on her driver's license when she told the court she lives in Calgary? Fraud. Number one. Don't have consent from me for the children. Kidnapping, abduction. Number two. Doesn't have a leave to be in Calgary. What is that? 1, 2, 3. 4.
Can I just stop you for a second?
No, I'm finishing up here. 4.
Okay.
She has no leave to take the children to Calgary. It's been established in court on the record, for the record, and let the record show my children live in Edmonton. So she lives in Calgary and I live in Edmonton, and she tells the judge that, but then I get her driver's license last Friday and it has this address that she doesn't live here and was grateful to not be on the lease anymore. That's fraud. Continue. Now,
okay.
I'm going to hear what you got to say.
Okay, I just ran her motor vehicles information, and her driver's license is in Calgary. So
when was it in Calgary?
I don't know. It's active in Calgary right now. I can't access when it was changed. That's through motor vehicles.
She probably just changed it yesterday. That don't matter. I got scans of the ID. Like, come on, Todd. She lost the ID. The video, she said, how did you get on the video?
Okay. When you get a new driver's license now, they let you keep your old one until the new one comes in. So
no,
very well could have been her old one.
No, you can't run that game, Todd. The point is, I got her wallet. The wallet had nothing else in there. No other Calgary ID. You can't have 2 driver's licenses at the same time. She didn't do that. She had that ID. And again, I'm glad that you confirmed. The car is registered in Calgary. So if the car is registered in Calgary, it wasn't registered till the 16th. So if she probably just changed the ID Monday or Tuesday.
Chances are she would have changed it at the same time, because if you change the address on one, they usually make you change it on the other.
Well, she didn't do that as of December 5th. I can tell you that right now. She was grateful, but she didn't give no gratitude that I had her wallet. Her wallet didn't have no Calgary address, no driver's license with the Calgary address on it. I know what that is, Todd. She had to go tell her handler, whoever at EPS is helping her, and then they had to scramble and go get it registered in Calgary. Nice try.
Okay.
Because all her credit cards, all her bank cards were in that wallet. And the driver's license, there was no other driver's license. So she was shocked. How did you get my wallet? She lost it. And she was driving the car with no driver's license. Knew she lost her car, her wallet, and was going to drive. So if those guys didn't find it, or someone else found it, she'd have been driving that car with no license and wouldn't have told nobody. So that's how you resolve this, Todd. You all start questioning her. But since that's not the case, I already know, and I appreciate you revealing that if her driver's license has a Calgary, or if she's got her license and it's switched to Calgary, I'll find out when it was done, because there's no way that you're going to tell me that she had another license. No, because if that's the case, she didn't need to keep the license with this address on it. So the only reason she would use that is for fraud. Come on, Todd, it's fraud, man. She got y'all good. She got EPS, the court. She got you all real good. And you all are embarrassed. And the best thing to do is, like they tell everyone else, man up, admit that she got you, and now question her on her kidnapping and keeping the children out of school for over a month. You aided and abetted a kidnapping on October 19th, point blank. That's human rights violations. That's Canada Charter rights violations. You're not getting out. You guys aren't getting out of that. You're in a cube. A crystal cube is what you all are in now at this point. This is why you're calling me. So you and whoever's sitting around the table with papers that I can hear moving, yeah, you guys got some serious liability. All you got to do is question her. She'll break in 15 seconds. But if you're protecting her, then you guys are complicit. So it's either you all protect EPS's reputation, the court's reputation, and charge her, or you all go down with her. It's that simple. I have too much evidence, I have too much information, I have too much stuff that is decentralized. Evidence, too much. It's ridiculous. People are like, what are they doing up there in Edmonton? I said, hey, I said she probably, I don't know what it is, don't know what deal she made, who knows? But you cannot escape the fact that my daughter was supposed to be in school, she was taken out, she hasn't been in school. So if they got Maureen, what's her name? Maureen Matthews, to generate a fraudulent document after the endorsement date, it's fraud. Nicole is not stable. You guys took an anvil. You have an anvil with her now. You are not going to control her. And I see that you all are realizing that now. You will not control her, so good luck, have fun. Have fun managing her. So now you've got your remedy. You charge her, you question her. That's how this ends. If not, everybody goes down with her. The devil's daughter will take you with her. I can guarantee you that.
All right, I guess that pretty much concludes it then.
Accepted for value and consideration in accord with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the UN Charter, and the Hague Statute on International Child Abduction. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time as well.
All right, take care, sir.
Rawak Ila Antutin, can everyone hear me? Am I loud and clear? Crystal clear? At Zoom, Timta, Abdur Kushai, Wat Biwasamos Pa Timta. Biba Babruka Wagadush Rin, Shilpa At Zoom Natir Usir, Sa Shil Gebonut Aruat, Shilpa Jabarek Amun Re. In the blessed and holy name of the great Natir of ancient Tamaray, Usir, known in English as Osiris, son of Geb and Nut, children of the majestic Amun Re. Welcome to White Talk the News episode number 21. Make sure for those of you that might be melanin recessive, as they say, carbon recessive, to have your sunblock on, because this is going to be as hot as the sun hitting the planet Earth with those coronal mass ejections. All right, so anyone that's got any questions, go right ahead. Please put it in the chat. If you're on Facebook, just give me a sec, because I'm just learning to go back and forth between the Facebook and the Zoom people. So those that's in Zoom, go ahead and put your questions. Those that's on Facebook, go ahead and put yours in the chat. I'm just going to queue that up. Let's see if there's any comments there. Okay, Rawat, Xbanta, Rawat. Okay, this is on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to go back now to Zoom. There we go. So, as you all can see, for those of you that heard, Rawat, okay, this is on oh, hold on, what's going on? So I'm going to go back now to I'm going to go back now. Oh, okay, I know what I got to do. There we go. So, as you all can see, for those of you that heard.
Oh, okay. So this is going back.
Oh, hold on. What's going on?
Okay, I'll mute that one. Those on Zoom, please make sure you can hear me. Just double check. I don't want the sound creating an echo. So can you hear me? All right. So that should go through on Zoom. I just want to make sure that the Zoom loud and clear. Good. I just want to make sure that because I'm hearing the Zoom, so I have to mute the Zoom on Facebook on my end, but people should be able to hear it. So as you all heard, that was a phone call I got from Sergeant Todd at Edmonton Police Services in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which is actually on an Indian reservation called Treaty 6 territory, Northern Turtle Island. And this is regarding, as you know, the situation with the case. I really only wanted to play 10 minutes. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's just too fabulous. So I couldn't just do a snippet of 10 minutes. And I said, okay, 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. Then I said, nah, I gotta let everyone hear the whole thing. So as you can see, Edmonton Police Services has a problem. I can easily identify them aiding and abetting kidnapping. And so this goes back to the child trafficking ring that's involving those public officials there as well as in the courts. I told everyone when we did the ritual on August 12th, for those who participated, the ritual we did libations, we opened the portals up. I did state that what was going to happen is there is going to be portals in, on, under, and through the city of Edmonton. And I said this before in the past, and I'm saying it again to reiterate, especially for there may be higher ups that were not aware what their underlings were doing. Now they're wanting to go back to the beginning to find out what's been going on. How did this get to this point? I did a ritual along with other Autochthons. We did a ritual on the city of Edmonton. And I know Edmonton Police Services is going to be watching this video. I know the court staff at Edmonton Law Courts in Edmonton are going to be watching this video. I told you all, you put your hands on my children. And now I'm finding out all the fraud you allowed Nicole to do. There is what's called a spiritual consequence. You don't evade the laws of physics. EPS, you don't get to evade the laws of physics. The Edmonton Law Courts and the justices who know and participated and were complicit, you don't get to ignore and think you avoid the laws of physics, the laws of quantum as they call it. You don't get to get yourself outside of what's happening in the solar system, this planet, and the universe. You don't get to walk away from that unscathed. That's delusion. High delusion. I told you all this, and here we are. I said everyone. When I mean everyone, everyone comes into the sunlight. So if you think that what we did was a joke, those solar flares coming from the sun that they are saying are dangerous to communications, that is the end result of the ritual we did on August 12th. So all you Satanists that work at the Edmonton Law Courts and work at the Edmonton Police Services, yes, go talk to your soothsayers and your seers, and they will tell you, you have ignited a magic war. You have created Edmonton as an international, interdimensional test site. Contact CERN, because nobody calls CERN spooky. They don't call CERN, oh, they're talking metaphysical. No, CERN said they opened a portal and talked with Draco reptilians on the Three-Eye Atlas. This is what you all have walked into. You created a magic war and an interdimensional test site for the city of Edmonton. You all have not seen anything yet. So go and watch that movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves. All you Satanists and Luciferians out there, go to your seers and your medicine men and your shaman, and they will tell you, yes, we have ignited a magic war that will come out into the public. It will not be covered. It will not be hidden. It will not be covered over. all on the planet Earth shall see this. I told you, you put your hands on my children. That is it. Yes, we are at spiritual war. This is what you all wanted. Now you got it. Your linchpin, the one that's going to pull you all down, is Nicole. Got all the evidence, which I have disseminated. I've disseminated that to other autochthons. Those who are on here, if you want to make a phone call and call me in, 587-712-0639. I told you all the whole planet is going to see this. I told you this. You guys were warned since August 12th. Here we are. So they're not honoring nothing. So that means there is no law. It's a free-for-all. And now you let we open the portals up for beings from other dimensions to come in. Now, who are they going to target? Edmonton Law Courts. They're going to target. Rawad, hold on a second, Ta. Mute, make sure you mute your microphone. So this is what's going to happen. All those places that were complicit in hiding my children, and we've done rituals, y'all are screwed now. Because all the higher dimensions are releasing all the data and all the participants in this fraud. The starting point was December 5th, when those men who are witnesses found Nicole's wallet and brought it to the house. That is a confirmation the universe is with us. So all this autochthons, the universe is with us. That's what happened. That's what you call a gigantic miracle for that to happen. You all got, yeah, there's some snacks there on the table too. That's a gigantic miracle. Does anybody, and you feel free to use your AI or do a chat or do a search. What are the odds of a ex-couple and the ex-couple and the woman losing her wallet and the ex-husband getting her lost wallet delivered to where he's at while she's still using the address? What are the astronomical? That shows you the ancestors, the Netwrok of ancient Egypt told that was the sign that yes, we will have the enemies delivered to you. You ain't got to lift a finger. We gonna take care of it. Another thing people may not be aware of, I'm gonna go here. And this is for the benefit because I know they're gonna be watching. If we go Muttart Conservatory in Edmonton, let me see, get a better image here. Okay, so for those that can see on Zoom, everyone should be able to see. Yes, you're seeing pyramids. Yes, you are. This is Muttart Conservatory in Edmonton, Alberta. Everyone should be able to see this. There we go. These are pyramids in the city of Edmonton. So these pyramids here, there's 5, and then there's one up front. I don't know if they have it in this picture. You got to go down the hill. Might be covered by these bushes here, which is the front of the Muttart Conservatory. So what you all are seeing are pyramids in Edmonton, Alberta, Treaty 6 territory. So these guys don't even have no clue the tachyonic energy that they are generating with these pyramids. So you got 4 big ones here and a small one here.
Because that's where Father Christmas lives.
No, Father Christmas is a lie. So there's no Father Christmas. Tahum, that's a lie. There's no Father Christmas. There's if you want, you say Father Hiru.
Father Hiru.
At Zoom, Father Hiru, because when Christmas, as they call it, that's when the sun, which is representative of Hiru. That's when Hiru in ancient Egypt came forth. So as you can see here, there's 5 pyramids here.
Where's Abgamma?
Oh, we were in this one. That's where Ab and Kimap got married, in this pyramid over here, in the northeast one. Sambina, you weren't there physically, but you were there spiritually. At Zoom?
Yeah, before I was small.
Tuwa. Okay, tap that ojat. Okay. Tap that ojat. You get some moya? So as you all can see, everyone knows what pyramids do. They generate tachyonic energy from the universe. This is glass and metal here. They didn't even know they've built a reactor that we can tap into. So I'll give you all the link here so y'all could put this on your altars. I told you this is magic now. All right, so you got the link here in images. It was just in Zoom. Let me see if I can put that here in. If I can put that here in the comments. Okay, so I don't see any comments yet. All right, so go ahead, Todd. I don't want to get into a tirade, but I just want to put that there for everybody to see. So what they've done is there's 5 pyramids. There's a big one that's a concrete one up front. So technically it's 6 pyramids there. And if you look at the layout of Edmonton, the North Saskatchewan River is here. What they've done is essentially mimicked the Nile River in Egypt. That's what they've done. Rawat.
Rawat for the one they talk to.
Rawat. Can everyone hear? Hold on. I just want to make sure everyone can hear. Can everyone hear him?
Oh, sorry. Unmute my mic.
No. You're good here. I just want to make sure they can hear you on the phone.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Can you all hear him? Hear them? All right. Can everyone hear him? Can you all hear him?
Testing. All right. You hear me?
All right. Go ahead.
I normally catch you live on Friday when you're going to pick up your children.
Tua.
Pick up your children. This Friday, I caught something that really kind of boggles my mind.
Tua.
And when you ask for anybody to call in, I want to call in, so I want to get this off. I want to set the phone.
Yes.
It's so strange.
Agul pasab. Tua. Agul pasab suta. Smoni. Agul pasab. Tawahat. Tua. Tawahat.
It would way over here.
Control. That's all it is. Control.
Ego. I had to say something about that.
Ego. Control. Ego. Control. Ego. The reason, and I can give you the reason for that. The Atsakata Ensign, we have the patches that you'll be getting once you get in touch with Antares. Those patches are on their jackets. So that's identifying my children as indigenous. They're iron-ons, and I stitched them on because I know how to sew. So I sewed them on. So the reason why she wants to change out is because on the live, it will show that the children have an ensign. Anyone who knows maritime law, once you have a flag, or that they call it a flag, on your vessel, that shows the property of the vessel, the jurisdiction that the vessel is under. So she's thinking by doing that and swapping out, I'm like, well, that's stupid because I'm just going to sit there. Now that's what I'm going to do on Sundays is just sit there and wait for her to put the children's stuff on. Like, duh. But it does, and so it doesn't take away from the fact, like, getting the wallet delivered, as most people would say, they call that was divine providence. I was not expecting that. I had already put the children to bed. And then I get a knock on the door and the guy says, yeah, it was at Canadian Tire. I said, oh, because everyone who remembers, I was trying to get her van side doors open and couldn't get the doors open. So when he said it was at Canadian Tire just sitting there on the floor, that I said, oh, so when she left us, she went to go get a de-icer, right? And so that means she went and got the de-icer and whatever else, and in the process, she dropped the wallet. So the wallet confirmed she was using my address this whole time since August 16th. So there's no way EPS, the Edmonton Police, can't say they don't know that. The welfare, if she's getting social services, can't say they didn't know. The shelters can't say they didn't know. The YWCA in Calgary can't say they didn't know. The YWCA in Edmonton can't say they didn't know. The courts, especially Justice McGuire, when I asked, is she living in a shelter in Calgary or Edmonton? You don't need to know where she's staying. So that means they're all complicit. They all knew that she was still using the ID. Now, how did she get legal aid? That's the question. And again, when a justice tells you you cannot do that and you can't take the children and relocate, it's a federal form that you have to fill out. And then you got to file it with the court for relocation. Then you have to give it, I got to be served. Then I go and respond. And then we both go up into the court, the vessel, to have a hearing on it. That didn't happen. So that is kidnapping, smuggling, harboring. That's all of that. He called to see how much I knew. Man, I could piece that together right now. That's easy. The problem, you go ahead.
So Empress and Oteti got in your vehicle without a jacket.
Yep.
And she had their jackets in her car.
Yes, she took them. If you saw it alive, this is why. See, Edmonton's getting away. Listen. Edmonton, Sambina, Spoony, Hamud, are you in that icing?
No.
Okay, tap down the chat. There's no babies here, Elmo. What? Azu, tap down the chat. The thing is this. This is why Edmonton is getting their bells rung. Like how LL Cool J rocked them bells. They getting their bells rung. You cannot sit there and accept this level of parental irresponsibility coming from her and then say that that's justified. That's why I name names. I told them everybody's coming into the sunlight. So if they were asleep, hey, that conversation I had with Sergeant Todd, they got woke the hell up. Like, we've been asleep at the wheel. I'm like, you don't want to get her, it's no problem. I'm sending it to the UN. The U.S. consulate in Calgary has that interview. Their legal department is going to listen to it. The U.S. State Department has it. They're going to listen to it. Is everybody hearing what I'm saying? This is not domestic anymore. This is international. This is above Todd's pay grade. I'm talking Draco reptilians. And if what is being said is true, that they put their caves underneath the cities, because this way Ashtar Command or Pleiadians or whoever they're fighting with, if they've got to want to get them, they'll have to shoot humans first. They'll have to zap humans first before they get to them. They're using humans as a human shield. So I'm the one that's being able to say, hey, to cause this disruption to occur. Nobody with a sane mind is going to sit there and say, how is the mother breaking the law from the court and they're not doing anything? Because that means they are complicit in it. So that means this is beyond the children. There's something else going on that's of some bigger significance that they're like, I said, they're all looking at me. All the evidence, the disclosure, I got it right here. I ain't had a chance to go through it. Got the disclosures right here. This is the Edmonton one, and this is the fraudulent Calgary one. Got it right here. So everybody can see it. Got it right here. Here, this is Calgary. This is the USB, and this is the CD-ROM or whatever. I'm like, I don't know what the heck they're giving me a CD-ROM for. Nobody use CD-ROMs anymore. You don't even get them on computers anymore. So I got to figure out how to look at that. That's got body camera and a 911 call she made. Listen, they have to broadcast it because what the Crown said yesterday, Ta, is they want to proceed with the case, the Edmonton case. I'm like, good. At the rate I'm going, they're gonna have to throw cameras in there because nobody's gonna trust anything. If I go up in there with them, no one's gonna trust anything. I got the clerks blocking me. I got the justices blocking my ex partes. Nobody's gonna trust that. They're like, no, you're gonna have to put cameras up in there because we don't trust nothing you guys say. None of you judges. When I tell a justice, so you're saying it's acceptable for her to drive. This is Justice McGuire. Yes, McGuire, I'm calling you out. You know what the deal is. You knew. She's driving a car with no flipping registration and no insurance on the car with children in it on September 4th, and I catch her, and oh, you're stalking her. Justice McGuire didn't know she was using my license, my address the whole time on her license. That voids out the EPO. No contact. No one wants to talk about the 4 minutes, and that was in the video. Think about it, the 35 or 40-minute mark. You see the phone record of where Nicole breached 4 minutes after she got it using 587-501-7262. That's my phone number. That's my phone she was using. And then she's breaching and calling everybody while she's breaching for a total of 1,172 times.
They're not saying nothing about that.
Can't. You know why? Because they are complicit. That's genocide. That's Nuremberg. You're talking firing squad for that. They know this because they are what? Justices, jurists. They know that. That's why when I brought it up to McGuire, she got upset. I'm going for a recess. Took a 5-minute recess. As soon as I brought up UN civil United Nations on international child abduction. Let me just get the full, because I always have a issue with this, with the civil UN child abduction, but that's not the full. I just abbreviate that. I think it's called civil aspects of child abduction. Yeah, the Hague Convention on the civil aspects of child abduction. I think you all on Zoom can see that. And so the ones on Facebook. So I brought that up. So when he said it didn't apply, I said it does apply. You don't keep children out of school for over 30 days. Especially in one of them, it's mandatory under the Education Act of Alberta that they must be in school. So they're complicit in kidnapping, abduction, international child abduction, genocide, apartheid, blocking me from seeing my children for 71 days. No, that's genocide. That's what they call up here a 60s scoop that they did to the Cree and the Blackfeet Indians up here. They did that. It's called a 60s scoop, when they took the children off the reservations and put them in residential school. The Edmonton Law Courts, Edmonton Police, the YWCA, in Edmonton and Calgary, social services, all of them just did a 60s scoop in 2025. That's what they did, the exact same thing. Only difference is I speak at the United Nations. This is when they really start doing their research and due diligence and realize I spoke at the UN Human Rights Council pertaining to the aspects of artificial intelligence violating human rights. And the point I brought up was, how do you punish a computer for violating human rights? What is the punishment for a computer violating human rights? Can you punish a computer for violating human rights? And I left the cliffhanger and mic drop. Then the United Nations puts my face as the thumbnail on that second day of the UN Human Rights Council. So I'm internationally recognized. So it don't matter what EPS says. It doesn't matter what the Edmonton Crown says. They're bound by the UN Charter. They must promote human rights. This is a human rights violation. 71 days I don't see my children. That's a crime against humanity. Everybody connected to Nicole gets it. They get tagged. All of them get tagged. Then they'll say, how did you not know this? How were you unaware? Impossible. That's not, it doesn't cover that. So when we talk about, oh, we're in a simulation, that was the worst thing they could have ever told me. Oh, we're in a simulation? Magic, magic, magic.
You know, Michael, it's just amazing when I was listening to the clip, when I first seen the clip, when you did the UN, and you were speaking about intelligence, AI. Right now, we're facing that right now, and your question is ringing more bells than it did then. Now it should be that he said this back then, which a lot of people told us, people was trying to tell us that something's coming. It's here now.
And here it is. And then my focus now is looking at the artificial intelligence, which we syntax as computer intelligence. And I said, oh, the computer intelligence knew about the challenge I issued to them. And I said, oh, so they could hack people's minds. You watch that movie Ghost in the Shell with what's her name? What's homegirl's name? She plays the Black Widow in the Avengers, Scarlett Johansson. So if you watch that movie, The Ghost in the Shell, that's not science fiction anymore. When Elon Musk, who's the richest man, is putting a fucking chip in his brain, that's not science fiction anymore. So when you see these people who are judges, justices, police, and you make a certain point and you see they start to get defensive, now you have to say, hold on, is that their brain being hacked by the system that knows, hey, this is the guy who challenged us on fixing the black-white computer coding error? No, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. That don't sound like a human. That sounds like a robot I'm talking to. So the Matrix is speaking through that human, because most of those EPS officers, they're flicking hacked anyway because they took the jab. So they got the liquid computer operating system in them. Every time the children come, I have to detox them, whether it's methylene blue, whether it's agriculture ash, whether it's activated charcoal. So I'm doing all of that to my children. Plus we're doing invocations, we're doing offerings, we're doing rituals. So they messed up allowing Nicole to do this, because now the spiritual realm is going to come into Edmonton Police Headquarters and all their stations. The spiritual realm is going to come into the Edmonton Law Courts because it's a square. That's why I told him you are in a crystal cube now. So all the Satanists that work at EPS, the ones who worship the devil, who are police officers that work at EPS, listen, this is what you all did. So now we're going to talk about it. All the Luciferians, Greys, reptilians that work at the Edmonton Law Courts, you all created this thing. You ain't going to be hidden anymore. All this is coming out, but you can maintain what's called the planes of existence. You honor the planes of existence. You do that by charging Nicole, but you don't. All the spiritual realms come to you all now. This is what I told them. What you all think you exempt, you got to sleep. You got to close your eyes at night. When you do that, you leave your body. My ancestors is waiting for you in the dark. The fuck you think this is? You thought this was a joke? That's what they thought it was. How I get her, the darkness, because again, it was at night. It was in the dark when the wallet came. That's the ancestors saying, yes, this is the culprit. This is what she was doing. And all these Edmonton public officials knew. So they're trying to hide their liability. You can't hide your liability. It's over. Then the next thing with Calgary, the biggest thing is she doesn't have leave. So leave is a legal syntax saying she does not have permission, authority, or she doesn't have an order. She is not allowed to be in Calgary. So what Sergeant Todd did for you all who listen to this now, he just confessed that Nicole broke the law on his watch by having her driver's license registered in Calgary. So that's why they recorded the call. And I record. As soon as I heard this call is being recorded, boom, I recorded one time. Now, they can't say I said whatever, because I got the same recording that he's got. And for those of you that have the copy, some of you have it on Google Drive, share it with everybody on LinkedIn, x.com, Telegram, Instagram, x.com. Share it. You have consent. You have consent to share X-Men's video. Mine's going to be going up soon. And if those of you, if you already have the audio, make your own video and share it. I told them this. Ain't nobody staying in no shadows. Everybody is coming into the sunlight, and the sun is confirming that now because they're concerned about these coronal mass ejections. They're telling people, listen, if you starting to feel lightheaded, if you feeling like your heart is racing, they said that's the sun letting off all these waves that's hitting the earth direct. And they said, what's happening? It's going to affect your communications, your satellites, all that stuff. This is what Edmonton triggered. This is what you all did. You put your hands on my children. We in a magic war now. You're an interdimensional test site for other beings. So contact the Canadian military, contact the Pentagon, contact the US military, contact, what's their names? CERN. They'll tell you, y'all done effed up. He done turned to, I am E1B1A, the original on this planet. You guys messed up. I'm connected. I can get signals from the universe. Y'all messed up now. You triggered a magic war covering for her. And when the time comes, she will throw all of you under the bus. All right?
All right.
Kashikador.
Shikador.
Let's see here. I'm gonna check the chats because I know a lot of people got questions and comments. I'm gonna go up to take it to the top. I'm gonna start from the top. Hold on a second, everyone. All right, so I'm back here. So, as I was saying, we're gonna go from the top. Everyone here on Zoom, everyone who's on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, put some questions in there. I'll switch over to Facebook so I can see if you have any questions there for those that's on the Facebook Live. All right, so iPhone Rawat. Okay, let's go down here. I shared the link. Let's see. Okay, Aferti. Ianifa. You cannot have an address on your license or ID and you don't live there. You're lying. It's fraud. Yes, we know that. And what they're doing, because everything is very tech-based now, Ianifa. What it is if you're calling them, they'll want you to scan the ID and email it to them so they can see it, or text it to them so they can see it. Yeah, go ahead. You can turn your mic on. Right? They want you to text to see it. So you can't submit an ID for insurance without the proper address on it. So that's nonsense. And again, he didn't know what he said. I don't know who the attorney was. If there was legal counsel there in the room, they're an idiot. He just confessed to the fact that Nicole defied what the judge told her, that you cannot do that, by him saying, "Oh, the license, it's registered in Calgary. She doesn't have leave. She can't do that." She defied Justice Kiss. This is why we're making this all public, because they don't have a leg to stand on. They're telling me this. This is their data. This is the justices saying this, not me. So anything that they're talking about in this, they're calling disclosure. This is all evidence against Nicole. They haven't even figured that out yet. This is all evidence against her. She used 587-501-7262. That's my phone number. That phone is my phone. That's what she did on an emergency protection order, violated it 4 minutes after getting it on August 18th.
I think if everything was easy, you'd be bored
So
here.
you can't do that. That goes against, it said no contact, direct or indirect. So yes, Affairty, police are taught procedures. They have no knowledge of the law, an excuse to commit fraud. Yes, this is what they do because they know procedures. They don't know law. Nichinafu, video on. Okay, let's see here. iPhone, exactly. She cannot lawfully use an address that is no longer hers, and she can't use out of city. You have to get leave. You have to give 60 days notice. This is what I told the Alberta Teachers Professional Commission on Thursday. And she's been out of school for, the children been out of school since September 5th. That was kidnapping. Now they're trying to go back. This is what these public officials do. Then they like to go back and backdate stuff and make stuff up to make it look legal, like it happened. And the whole time I'm documenting everything and sharing it with everybody. So Ayanfa said, yes, kidnap period. iPhone, yes, fraud. Fraud voids a contract. Ab initio. She committed fraud 4 minutes after that EPO was issued. She was still using the license. Fraud. Everything is void. Ab initio. Child trafficking, yes. Affairty, she went to Denny's instead of the police, yes. Sleeping in a parking lot, yes. iPhone, an Empress said she was home alone. Usually that's a repetition of a show that she's watching. That's what she had. Her and Uteti have delayed speech. So that's the problem. They'll repeat phrases and repeat it over and over again. Affairty, they would not call if they were not guilty. Yes, that's the big thing that's a lot of people are not getting. Monday, what are her name? The Crown in Calgary called me talking about, oh, your disclosure is ready. We'll have it ready for you when you come Wednesday. I'm like, what you calling me for? I've been calling you guys a month ago, left messages. I emailed you, no response. Now Monday, you calling me. What you just said, Affairty, about they would not call if they were not guilty. They know they're guilty. That's why he called. Listen, I watched the movie Michael Clayton. What did Michael Clayton say? If you've never seen that movie Michael Clayton with George Clooney, you better watch it. If you have, put your comments in the chat and I'll put them up so everybody can see. When the guy in Michael Clayton hit the cyclist and then took off, Michael Clayton was called to go upstate New York. He's like, man, this guy's like part of my, he makes up like 75% of my book. I'm not in the country. I'm in the islands. Can you please, man, I can't lose it. Okay. So Michael Clayton goes from New York City to upstate New York at night to go see this guy. And the guy hit a cyclist and Michael Clayton, which is George Clooney, is telling him, you hit a guy at this time a mile from the state trooper barracks. He said, if there's a line, you're at the front of it. And the guy's mad. I'm paying all this money for from a retainer, etc. And then as in the meantime, he's lying to Michael Clayton. His wife throws the glass and breaks it. And so, well, how about the fog? Maybe the fog, right? The guy's coming up with all these schemes to try to say something to get off. So Michael Clayton tells him, in the middle of that, the phone rings. And Michael Clayton is like, no, the guy's like, that's the police, isn't it? He said, no, they don't call. I filed a complaint and they called, but they didn't call the way people would think, oh, I'm going to get remedy. I'm going to get some type of resolve. They call because their legal counsel is like, we got to cover this up. You're going to have to talk to this guy. We need to know. It's an inadvertent. They think that these guys, I'm telling you, man, they think they're slick. What they're inadvertently doing is a deposition on the phone under the guise of me thinking I'm speaking with the supervisor to get this resolved. Why would he say, so we can't resolve this? Time out. Anybody who knows negotiating 101, you made an offer. Why isn't there is obviously we can't resolve this outside of a phone call? You know what you got to do. I gave you your remedy. But why would you tender that to me? Because you know you guys are complicit and guilty. That's why. He didn't talk about no compensation, restitution. He ain't talking about nothing, nothing. He talking about how can we, so if I would have said, oh, I just want an apology. I said, no, I don't want no apology. He said, you know what you got to do? You got to charge her. You know you have to do that's kidnapping. And you guys aided and abetted that. I said, she got you good. She got you real good. Just come on, man up, man up. Come on, man up. She got you. That's not the first time that's happened to a police or a law enforcement agency where they've gotten fooled. Won't be the last. But however, when you recognize that, to save your reputation, you see, I'm giving him key words that he understands. If you want to save the reputation of Edmonton Police Services in the city of Edmonton, you better charge her. If you don't, you go down with her. I'm telling the world, you can't beat that. 192 countries, Atsakata Nation is recognized by 192 countries, and I'm telling everybody, and the biggest one is next door to us in South in the United States. You think they're not going to throw that in the government of Canada's face at the next United Nations meeting? They're going to throw it in their face. And if the government of Canada is not paying attention or they're not taking it serious, when it hits, that's when the hammer's going to come down privately on all these fools, because they're going to have all the names and say, we just got to go watch his videos and we get all the names of all of you all. That's all we got to do. Then we'll confirm what he's saying, whether it's true. Once we get confirmation, okay, where was you? No, you fired. You gone. You forget your pension. You getting charged. Told you all. Magic, magic, magic. Where are we at here? Is she iPhone? Is she home educating the indigenous children? iPhone. No, she said that's what she wanted according to her lawyer, Kevin Livingstone. However, that's a lie. That's fraud, perjury. He uttered a false document. You know why? Because if you're going to homeschool, see what these fools don't know is our next door neighbor. He was the president. Her son was the president of the Alberta Homeschool Association. And he told us, oh, okay, go to this website. This is what you got to do for homeschooling. So I spoke with the man. See, they got no clue. If you're going to homeschool, you have to give the school that you're taking your child out of notice you are homeschooling, and you have to give a form. So what Kevin Livingstone said, complete and utter fabrication, lie, fraud, perjury, all of it. Because you got to fill a form out so the public school say, okay, if this child is coming out, what's happening? So did she tell them, I'm going to register them in another school? Or was the intent to get her to Calgary because that's where the U.S. consulate is located? And by there, well, we'll get a document, a temporary travel so you could cross the border, not realizing that I've already contacted them, that I've already communicated with the U.S. Department of State. They have a program, Prevent Abduction. So I emailed them today. Today they got the email of the conversation I had with Sergeant Todd of Edmonton Police Services. This is global. This is international. You can't cover this up, you fools here in Edmonton. You dumb public officials. You can't cover this. This is not coverable. You can't even get Michael Clayton to come clean this up. There ain't no janitor work on this. There's no janitor because you got to come with facts. I gave you guys the phone records. She used my phone to try to breach me, and you guys didn't check. Either you highly incompetent and stupid, or you aided and abetted. And that comes out, that's it. That's a human rights violation. That's genocide, apartheid, rape. That's child abduction. That's every code in the Canada Criminal Code that they just violated. I just put a little dots there, let them figure it out. What was the other one? Did she deregister them lawfully? According to them, they would say yes, that she took them out of school. However, I told Alberta Professional Teachers Commission on Thursday that my children are in Calgary and Nicole does not have a court order to take them. So now that's child abduction and kidnapping. So they have that at the Alberta Teacher Professional Commission, because I'm saying had they knew, because what happened was on the 12th of September was when Nicole made the phone call officially taking the children out of their schools. They stopped going to school September 5th when I took the car back, because she was driving the car with no registration and no insurance. If anything happened and she got into an accident, what was told is they'll sue me. That's why she kept the license. So if she gets into an accident with the car and the police think they're smart, she gets into an accident with the car from Calgary, who are they going to come to? They'll come to me because the address for here is on the license that she's using. Is everybody getting this? So when the ancestors went and said, no, we're going to get that back to you. Now I have it recorded. Now the officer, I looked up her license. How do you know what her driver's license was? Let me say that again for those of you that may have missed that. When Sergeant Todd said, how do you, when he said he looked her license up, how does he know what her license is if she ain't a police informant? So that meant the license she used when she complained at Windermere was Edmonton. It wasn't Calgary. If it's Calgary, he just admitted to genocide, kidnapping, abduction, and complicity, because the justice at Edmonton Law Courts, Justice Kiss, said she does not have leave. And for those that are not comprehending, leave means you got to have permission from the court. Like, I got to keep giving this kidnapper every weekend my children. She got to have permission to be in Calgary, and she doesn't have it. So when the U.S. consulate hears this and they give it to their legal counsel, they can press the U.S., they can press Canada. Why are you allowing this U.S. citizen to commit acts, criminal acts in your country? They won't have an answer for that. So if they took her on as a confidential police informant, that don't protect you. You don't get no human rights exemption violation. You don't get genocide exemption violation. You don't get none of that. That makes the whole police force, the city of Edmonton, the province of Alberta. Yes, I'm saying all of you, I told you all, you're not getting this. Everybody, that's Premier Danielle Smith, that's the education minister, that's the justice minister, all of you all come into the light. You are all in the sun. You don't get to stay in the shadows. This is what is universally known as cause and effect. This is what the Merovingian told everybody in the Matrix in the second movie. Cause and effect. This is what, and that comes from who? Tehuti in ancient Tamaray with the kalam or the pen. Cause. Everything that happens has a cause and an effect. You put your hands on my children, I take your system down. It's that simple. And all the evidence you think you got against me is evidence against her that you all are holding, which makes you all criminally, they call that conspiracy, because that means you all colluded to do this. Now we get into human rights violations. We get into genocide, apartheid, rape. We talk about the 60s scoop. We talk about crimes against humanity, because I'm recognized by the United Nations and spoke to the UN Human Rights Council. So all the countries across the world that may have beef with Canada, they can use this video now and throw it in their face. And they'll tell them, don't come to the UN and play holier than thou. And we saw what you did. You attacked an indigenous man, his children, you kidnapped them. This is broad daylight 2025. And I thank that police officer from AEPS, whoever he was. I thank you very much for admitting on the phone that, yes, this was a state-sponsored kidnapping. So that means the province of Alberta was involved in this. Magic, magic, magic. Next up, Fairty, no, she has not been responsible with their schooling. No. Ianifa, don't you have truant officers? Because it's definitely a concern for social services. There is a limitation that you, after about 10 days, then they contact the parent what's going on. Then when you get into 20 to 30 days, that's when they start bringing in child protective services. Why aren't the children in school? They haven't done that. So that's how I know it's a child trafficking ring involving Edmonton Police Services, involving Edmonton law courts. Yes, all of y'all, I know. Come on, I know. I'm trying to figure out how you guys think you're going to cover this. Now I tell the world, where's your documentation? Because you got to have, you have to have 60 days notice to relocate. And I'll reiterate that. Under the Alberta family law, you have to give 60 days notice. She created an emergency protection order in the city of Edmonton. Calgary is 3 hours south. So in order for her to want to go there, you got to go to the court. But before you can get that, you got to do what? You got to fill out a federal form. And that federal form for relocation, then you file it with the court. I would have gotten served. Then when I get that, I get to go on the same website and fill out the objection part of it. Then I serve her that I'm objecting. Then we go have a hearing. So Edmonton Law Courts is full of it. Justice Krause, right, is full of it. McGuire, Kiss, right? She's the only one that was at least honest enough to say, hey, you don't have leave. So what Sergeant Todd and the Crown in Calgary are saying is a joke. I'm like, where's your court order allowing her to relocate contrary to Alberta family law? Don't have it. So therefore, that's a kidnapping. And the children were out of school since September 6th. I didn't see them for 71 days. Kidnapping. It's genocide. Done. So every time I brought up the Hague Statute, just like Sergeant Todd did, and he got mad, I'm like, that's what it is. Because you're trying to get her to Calgary. At least she's in Calgary. She's close to the U.S. Embassy. But what they didn't know is I already contacted the embassy. They opened a file. And from what I was informed, RCMP might silently be investigating because they said, do you think she was going to sign your name on the document? Just let me back up a second here. When I contacted the U.S. consulate, because when Nicole left, she just left the computer on. So I was in her email and was able to see the communication her and her cousin Trina in Brooklyn were doing with the U.S. consulate in Calgary. So I emailed the consulate from her email saying, I'm the father. Here's my email. Email me at Kim@19. And the U.S. consulate emailed me. I explained to them what was going on. And what did they do? They said, okay, we're going to put the children in a program. You contact the U.S. Department of State in Washington, D.C. via email. They'll email you, which they did. They're going to send you the forms, which they did. I filled the forms out. The children are registered. Now, the consulate told me, I don't know what she's doing. She said, because we don't give out travel documents or U.S. born abroad for children without the signature of both parents. So she can't get the travel document without me physically being there. Or if they send her the form, she was going to forge that, and they would think that I gave consent, which would allow her to get the travel document. That's why she was so gung-ho for needing a car so she can hit the border. See, all this is all criminal. EPS is involved in this stuff criminally. So the Crown has a decision to make. Either you stay or you get implicated. Talking about the Edmonton Crown prosecutor, you get implicated in a conspiracy to commit genocide against Indigenous people, meaning myself, Atsikata Nation, my children. See, they didn't expect. This has gone beyond what they were anticipating. They said, "Oh, boom, bam, bonk, got him," and then next minute it's like, "No, you're in a crystal cube." So you're not hiding anything. That was proven by me getting Nicole's wallet. Let me see here. Section 7 of the Home Education Act 1996 has not been applied by Nicole. Nope. And social services didn't contact her, didn't contact me. So that means, okay, if they're not, CPS is not involved, you know what that means? They're trying to assist her in smuggling into the US. They can't give the United States no BS because everything I file in the courts, the US consulate in Calgary has it. So they know what the crimes that EPS and the rest of them are doing, what the complicity, the genocide that they're doing. They're seeing it. Next up, Aferti, he works for DMV. Iyanifa, where will the vehicle be parked and insured? That's one of the questions that they will ask. Your other question was the insurance company will use the address on your driver's. That's what they're going to want to see first. Aferti, Nicole is an informer for EPS. He is protecting her. Hey, what's the old saying? If you see somebody doing something and you say nothing, this is what the Honorable Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream said. If you see, what did he say? If you see injustice and say nothing, you are just as guilty as the person doing the injustice. Iyanifet, when you apply for insurance, they ask you for the address, where the vehicle will be insured, where it will be parked. Yes, they ask for your driver's license number. They can see the address on it, and the VIN number on the vehicle will have the address it's registered. Yes. And I got the VIN number and I have a lien against that car. Iyanifat, there you go. Nitter Nafu, this is Fra, Todd. And the room is silent. Tacit consent, Aferti. Let's see here. Collapse.wave in motion, Aferti Tua. And the room is silent. Iyanifat, why do they have fun using supposed white women to take down her own husband? Shaking my head. It's bigger than this, Iyanifat. You know how to get that answer. What I have done is planetary shaking by telling black people to stop calling themselves black, call yourself white. You can't get no black intellectual to come against me. They can't even come against any of you that I'm training. They can't even come against the ones who were on training, who have their certificate of achievement from me, because they'll say, man, black is pale, black is an adjective. Now the computer says black is no energy. Nothing. This is the computer saying in computer, black is no energy. White is full energy, full signal. Black is no signal. That's what it is. So what are you? Are you white? Is that right? You white? Say I'm white. Are you white?
Yes.
Is Sambina white? You guys say I'm white?
I'm white.
At Zoom.
I want some phone time.
Okay, you're going to get some phone time. You're going to get some phone time. Ab's on the phone. I think I'm still on with Tar, right? No, okay, so we on. Okay, we got some phone. You want some phone time?
Yes.
How do you ask for phone time?
Please, can I have some phone time?
Esmuni fila hutna suta.
Suda, can I have some phone time?
Hatu fi suta Ab?
How to please Suda app?
Okay. Only because it's you.
Okay. Enter it.
Oh, enter it. Oh yeah, because Ab's got a code. Oh yeah, I gotta keep her memory is laser sharp. So I'm trying to memorize my code. Okay, you're gonna take pictures? You're gonna take pictures here. You're gonna take. Oh, hold on, because you want to. Yeah, here, take pictures. You want to take pictures? Okay, go ahead. Take pictures. No, it isn't about that. It's about the Canada Child Tax Credit, Yanifa, and then finding that out after the fact. That's what set her off. So she was trying to get a benefit that the government of Canada said she cannot get. She cannot file for the Canada Child Tax Credit. I can't. She's a permanent resident. She's not a citizen. So she can't apply for it, like she can't apply for a Canadian passport. So since you can't do that, that means who's in control of that? Me. I will make the distinction. I will also dictate how the funds for their education and everything else that they need are going to be distributed. So she had a meltdown about that. That's what she flipped out over. Then she tried to create a mutiny against me in Atsakata. That didn't work. So now she can't do a mutiny against me. She has no power with the Canada child tax credit. And then from a marriage standpoint, yes, I'm asserting myself as the husband of this house. This is how we're going to run this house. No, that was it. She had to run, book, pack up, get what she could, and run out the street. Meanwhile, the Amorite women that she listening to, they still home with their husbands. The ones whose husbands got nervous breakdowns or they're going through depression, they not splitting up. No, they keeping theirs together. That's the problem with black women. Stupid, vain, egotistical, only care about themselves. So they will tarnish and destroy their family out of ego. But the Amorite woman, even if they're not happy, they got enough sense. Nope, don't break it up. You see Hillary Clinton leave Slick Willie? No, she knew damn well he got blue because she's an attorney. He's an attorney. She knew he's the president of the United States. She said, if I leave him, technically he'll be happy without me. That's when the hoes really will start coming. So she's like, no, I got to stay with him. Not out of any kind of commitment, but just from the standpoint of the image of a family unit. And because she know he'll be happy. Most men, when the women leave, they're happy. They're like, oh, that's why I told Todd, you got an anvil now. Good luck if you think you're going to control her. Have fun with that. I said, you're realizing that now, aren't you? He ain't say nothing to that. They cannot control her. She is off her rocker. Nitcher Nafu, loud and clear. Non-submitting fools, Affairty. Nitcher Nafu, indeed, Maku, this is international. Amun Tua. Yuhu El, Amun Tua. Guadakuya Tua. Wabana, I'm a witness. Ianifa, I'm definitely a witness. Rawat Maku, exactly. Wabana. Yuhu El Tua. Todd sounded like a robot. Thick darkness. Chashukis, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yes, Awabana. Awabana, or you could call Plenipotentiary Chief Nanya Shaabu at 1587-720-639. Let's see. Exactly. I saw it move. Word. Every move they made, I've been see. That's Awabana. That's law. 18 USC genocide 1091. Canada's is C-45. Let me just put it up here so you all can be familiar with it. Canada genocide code. Think of C-45. Okay, C-46. So this is the Canada Genocide Convention. So let me speak it. Canada addresses genocide through its criminal code section 318, criminalizing advocating genocide and the Crimes Against Humanity and War Crimes Act, which defines genocide and allows prosecution for such acts committed in Canada or abroad, incorporating international law, definitions of acts intended to destroy groups. Atsikata is internationally recognized. What they did, aiding Nicole, is genocide. The criminal code specifically prohibits advocating genocide and defines it as acts with intent to destroy groups, killing, inflicting severe conditions. My children did not see me for 71 days. That is genocide. They were kept from me for 71 days based on race, religion, etc. Criminal Code Section 318 makes it an indictable offense up to 5 years in jail to advocate or promote genocide with specific definitions for genocide and identifiable groups. Crimes Against Humanity and War Crimes Act implements international law, defining genocide as acts, killing, causing serious harm, preventing births, forcibly transferring children, which is what happened, with intent to destroy a group. This act allows for prosecution of these crimes committed anywhere in the world. This is Canada, mind you. That's the Crimes Against Humanity and War Crimes Act. It's global because Canada signed off on it. Genocide, acts with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as defined as the Katwa and or Kauka and informed by international law. Advocating genocide, criminal code includes promoting genocide with identifiable groups, defined broadly to include groups based on color, race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, disability, etc. Cultural genocide. While the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, this dealt with the 60s scoop with the Cree, Blackfoot, and all the indigenous up here on Northern Turtle Island, used the term cultural genocide for residential schools. It's not a defined legal term in international law, leading to debate and distinguishing it from legally defined genocide. Makes no difference. It's still genocide. Now, this is the code itself, which is the Canada Criminal Code, C-46. And 1, every person who advocates or promotes genocide is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 5 years. In this section, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part any identifiable group. Atsikota Nation of Yamasee Moors is an identifiable group. Our ensign is on the children's jackets, and that's why she wanted to cover it. But it doesn't matter because when I dropped them off last Sunday, you all could see them. So now she doesn't want it to be seen on Facebook Live. Like, doesn't make no difference. I'll sit there in the McDonald's and watch her put the children's clothes on. And then at that point, good, you all will see it. So that the ensign proves that they're part of Atsikota Nation. They are born in Atsikota Nation, and they are being attacked. 2A, killing members of the group, or B, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction. Keeping my children in a shelter doesn't do that. This is what they're doing, is the genocide. I have stability, but you want them in a shelter. So that's genocide. So all the justices at Edmonton Law Courts who advocated for Nicole to have primary care are advocating genocide. You're not getting away from that. That's a fact. They're mad because I'm opening my mouth. Magic, magic, magic. Told you. Where are they here? Thick darkness. Aglo Pasepsuta. Tawag.
We have to enter this.
What you need?
Sir.
Oh, you want me to enter the code?
Yeah.
Why is the code not entering? Yep. Still not entering. Okay, you're going to Hatufi? Okay.
So, get out. Get out.
Aglo Pasepsuta. Okay, watching Gracie? Gracie? Or Kunda? Kunda or Gracie? Ashwahed. Utati, Ashwahed. Gracie or Kunda?
Kunda.
Kunda? Tawahat. UL, they are criminal-minded, acting blind. Yeah. Moon kokohihi wuti ale. Rahuat maku. If the law speaks that the children cannot be out of school more than 30 days and it's been over 90 days, why haven't you or Nicole been penalized? Because they're operating a child trafficking ring in Edmonton involving EPS, involving the courts. I'm certain that someone who works for the Edmonton Crown Prosecutor's Office is watching this video, or they'll catch the replay. Oh, yes. This is why you notice when I spoke with Sergeant Todd and I brought up the Family Law Act, that it violates the Family Law Act. What was his response, everyone? Put in the chat. What did he say when I said that? They're supposed to come to me to discuss this. Like, this doesn't have to come out in the open like this. But the problem with Nicole is she's showing she wasn't aligned with Nuwapu. But she's holding the Ancient Mystic Order Melchizedek card. A Fairty, every White News episode is evidence that Nicole is guilty by default. Yes. Awabana Atumare said the devil will buy flying out of here. Okay, I don't know what that's saying there. You're going to have to clarify that, please. Ta, Khashikador, Yuhu, nothing. That's what he said when I brought up the Family Law Act and the Education Act. Nothing. So that means the Edmonton public officials are complicit. They're they are part of it, behind it. They're connected to it. They're facilitating it. They're in it. They did it. And now they're trying to spin it on me. That's why I say again, thank you for the disclosure. All this is evidence against Nicole. Ain't none of this evidence against me. None of it's evidence against me. She used my phone, 501-7262. That's my phone, my account with Freedom Mobile Network. She doesn't have leave to be in Calgary. So what she did being in Calgary is illegal. That's why I said whoever Sergeant Todd was with, whoever the counsel was, he just confessed she kidnapped the children. He don't even realize. Is everybody hearing what I'm saying? If you do, put it in the chat. You put yes, he confessed, or yes, Sergeant Todd confessed, however you want to put it. She is a Ferti. She is a contradicting jinn. Okay, so I have to click it. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Begin all things by first using the all. The physical disagreeables plan a plan. And then the two plan a plan. And then the two of ancient Tamaray, known as Egypt in English, are the best of planners.
Relation. Did you get the badge numbers for the police officers?
Yeah, I got their badge numbers off the video, and the EPS has the video because they said, "Do you have any video of what happened?" But the officers, I said, "Yeah, Facebook Live." I gave them the link. It's in my complaint. I got an acknowledgement that it's filed online.
Kidnap the children and try to run for.
You want to stay home or you want to go back to the shelter in Calgary? Okay. And where do you want to stay? You want to stay in the shelter with Jeanette, or you want to stay home with Ab?
Stay home with Ab.
Okay. All right. So come here. I want you to tell the police here. Come tell the police. Tell them. Tell them. You want to go back home with Jeanette to the shelter, or you want to stay with Ab?
Instead of the police.
New message sent by 40326315550. Hello?
You well. We're going to show them what it is. We're going to tell them what it is.
Elder patience and perseverance. I'm ready. You heard it out the mouth of the band. At the home with the average, where they want to stay. Nicole Nicholas is a ridiculous craze. Wrapped in a psychotic maniac vein. Kidnapper, abductor, disruptor, obstructor. Child smuggler, hustler, tech mother chucker. Pacific rustler, traitor, disruptor. Perpetrator, liar, so you know you can't trust her. She's a hater, finagle, faker, enabler. The Everton law force embedded in, aided her and fiending. Scheming, executional, screaming. Terry Miller, abduction. Demons are guilty, you're trafficking children. Kidnapping, stealing. Double dealing with an agent that former delay. 12 years dormant, had a meltdown, flipped her lid, started performing. Transformed to a Luciferian, Decepticon, wicked one. Committed genocide, the spiritual treason. Against the white talk, this indigenous nation. Simsalabim, ashnim, elevation, calibration, vibration, dedication. Who we see a hecker in every location. Division and pressure, new wobble the foundation. Mental, spiritual, physical, lyrical. The borders were open on August 12th, visual. 2025 on Facebook Live. By the right one, the right one, the right one. That's like candidates and healthy boys, white talk nuns. All chiefs tended and presented on facts. Killing the child education act. Invoking the head convention, not to mention. Nicholas. Kidnap the children and try to run for the border. Nicholas. Justice Kiss said she did not have me more in order. At my tongue, city was in the EBS, she done. You can't stand in the sun. Right. Betters and haters. 1170 plus preaching violator.
Nicole T. Nicholas.
She's a genius.
Edmonton Law Court.
Guilty.
Yeah, I want the entire planet to see this bullshit here in Edmonton. Yes, I want the entire planet to see it. This woman is living in a shelter, didn't have leave.
Be in Calgary.
Doesn't have leave. This is Justice Kid says she does not have leave. She doesn't have a warder. She had to give permission. She has to have permission.
It's criminal.
I said, because you know Nicole is not going to tell nobody that the EPO was lifted. She ain't going to say nothing.
Don't wanna find out the hard way.
She can't and won't answer. The 26 facts. The chief's affidavit. And that's a fact, yeah. The reason she evaded. It cost her ass back. Has no standing in law.
Oh well. Proof that I'm on the path. We're on the path and we're doing the agreeable white work. So with that, y'all, that's it for this. I'll see y'all in 7 days. Again, those who want to come on the webinar, 587-712-0639 or tamaray19@protonmail.com. And we're going to finish with our theme music, White is Right.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a black Negro. Foolish, ghoulish.
As soon as I get that check from the child tax credit, it's like,
Foolish.
say, think what you want to think, you know? Think what you want to think. It's like,
At Zoom. So much appreciated to Elder Affairty, your vocals, X-Man, much appreciated. Recorded, mixed, and mastered by Vibe One. Much appreciated, Vibe One. Shout out to Vibe One and Virgo Lair for producing this. This is a perfect segue into the next thing, and then we're going to get into some articles, and then that will be done. You know, this is took up some time, however, it's not a loss. We're going to be doing a live mentoring. I spoke with Anu, so X-Man, Anu, because he's in California. So he called, he was in the middle of some business, and I want everyone to know we are going to be doing a live mentoring. We're turning this whole situation into a live mentoring. So anyone who wants to advertise with us, anybody who's script writers, anybody who's writers, graphics, we're turning this not into a docu after the fact. We're turning this into a live mentoring. So we're going to be doing this as this happens. So we do have some people over in Hollywood that Anu is going to be getting in contact with to look at getting filming done. So we're going to be doing the whole gamut. So whether this will be something that has never been done before. So when people used to have reality TV shows, it's going to be similar, but this is going to be live. So anyone who wants to advertise, anybody who does graphics, anyone who does script writing, anybody who does anything along the lines of film, you can get in touch with Anu. Oh, I need his phone, my phone. Empress, Hatufi Suta. Sabina. Sabina. Hatufi Suta. Hatu. Hold on.
Okay.
One sec. I'm just gonna do this here. Okay. Okay. So this is Anu's phone number. He's in California. So his number is 1-949-390-3906. That's 1-949-390-3906 is Anu's number out in California. So anyone who knows anyone dealing with script writing, because we see Denzel Washington on X-Men's thing, on his people you may know on Facebook. We see insurance companies. So people on the planet are watching this. This is beyond just the children. There's something else behind that's driving this, that this has become such what's the word? When it's riveting for people, that when they even hear the interview with Sergeant Todd, I listened to it second time. I was supposed to play 10 minutes and get to it, and it was just like, I was like, man, I'll forget it. I'll just play the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Can't do it. What? Tawad. Okay, and X-Men, Wadu, and X-Men, put your contact information in the chat, and then I can put that out for people to get in touch with you from the music side, production side. We're not done yet. We still good. What you talking about? So that's what we're doing. We're going to make a live mentary. So anybody who wants to advertise, anybody who wants to support, we're going to make an advertisement. And right now, so people, what do you mean a live mentary? I'm looking at potentially doing a Zoom 24 hours. That's what I'm looking at, potentially a Zoom, a 24-hour Zoom, never been done before. And so in between that, people can send me, you advertise, and then I'll put your advertisement for your business or what have you out there. So as things go, we're going to already be having this documented and decentralized. Let's see. So Guaracuya, Nicole wanted to remove the ensigns from the children's coats, knowing the significance and protection it provides, but her hatred for you and Nuwabu overrides her rational thinking and emotional regulation, leading to a state where negative perceptions dominate her interactions. Psychologists refer to as a negative sentiment override. I accept what is, and I accept the negative and return it for value, accept it for value and consideration, and return it for discharge, closure, and settlement of the account. Moon Coco, that was great. You had yes, he acted like he got a horse in the game. Awabana, that's when on August 7, 2025, Nicole flew out of the house. So the devil caused her to fly out the house. So that entity in her said, time to leave. Moon, Tua, he confessed. Yuhuel, yes, Sergeant Todd confessed. Awabana, Mr. Todd got infinite checkmate. Kawun Fiend. Where are we at here? Awabana, that's the master class. White, so UL can be contacted musically, anything pertaining to music and sound, 1-513-225-4132. If you're on Telegram, punch it in on save it, and then use Telegram. You'll be able to reach him a lot better, as we can't do regular phone. They just jam him up. And his email is yuhuel10@gmail.com. yuhuel10@gmail.com. So that's what we're going to be doing, is a live mentory. So it's live or now mentoring. We'll figure out the name shortly, but this will be unique, never been done before. Never been done. This will be a this will be a trend, this will be a precedent trendsetter. All right. So that's it for that. So we're good on this. Now now that we got the distraction out of the way, see how illusions take up so much time? Because you have to keep cleaning up the filth of the illusion. So now we're gonna go to here. I have some articles I want to cover. There we go. Let's see who we're gonna start off with. Okay, so we'll start off with, okay. Let's see, reptilians. Okay, yeah, let's go up with this one. Okay, so the first ones we're going to come up with, let's see what this one here on TikTok is. What's happening? You not coming up? Oh, which one pops up? Okay, there we go. Well, guess this was magic, magic, magic. Okay, we're going to start off with the witches in the hair salon. I didn't know about this one. Okay, where's the volume? Oh, there we go.
Who come. Yes, you will find a lot of root workers and witches in hair salons, period. Not just down south, but just overall. Number one, it gives them easy access to hair. There's a lot of information that comes through the hair salon. There's a lot of customers who come through the hair salon. You think you go in there and get your hair done, and then you actually go in there for a consultation with a root worker. You don't know what's going on in them back rooms for real. That's why you always got to be prayed up and be mindful of where you go, who you allow to touch your head, etc., etc. And that's also why you hear a lot of older people who are from down south who will tell you to burn your hair because you don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. I'm not really sure how this works, but I know a lot of people from the Muslim faith cut their baby's hair and then give it away. And there are a lot of root workers, a lot of witches who will come to those same salons and buy that hair that Muslims donate. So while they're thinking they're doing some type of tradition, a lot of witches and warlocks go to those salons and get the hair that Muslims donate. It's a very profitable business that they have in a lot of barbershops and salons. I don't know if they know that or not. I think some of them do know that. I just don't think that they care. And there are a lot of high-ranking witches and root workers who own hair salons. And if they don't actually have a hair salon, they will have like what you would call a kitchen salon, where they go to somebody's house and get their hair done instead of like an actual salon. And so imagine going into a salon and you're confiding in your hairdresser about what's going on with you and your husband, and that hairdresser is like, well, I got something I can do to fix your husband. That's how a lot of them hook you in. And that's why you can't just let anybody play in your head. And recently I was at a hair salon, and this was at the beginning of the year, and there was this girl who was doing my hair, and she was talking about how she wanted to do a spell on her boyfriend. This girl was so young. She was fresh out of high school. She had no business even dabbling in that stuff or even wanting to or entertaining the idea. The boyfriend wasn't good to her either. He was lying. He was cheating. And I'm like, girl, why you want to do spell work on him? Just let the man go. That stuff's going to backfire on you. God going to get you. I was trying to warn her not to do that, but she's like, nope, I'm going to go get the supplies after work. I ain't let that girl touch my hair no more. A lot of these women are in the salon, and don't think it's just the women, it's the men too. They have barbershops though. And a lot of these people are going to the salon, they go into the barbershop, and they just running their mouth about their personal life. And sometimes a witch or a warlock will do something to them because of what they overheard in the shop. And now they're trying to figure out why their life is in complete disarray because you said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing around the wrong person. And now they got it out for you. Or they were envious of you, and now they got it out for you. Witches and warlocks are also heavily invested in all things beauty and sometimes fashion. So a lot of them today have hair care lines, skincare lines, makeup lines. Beyonce's mother is a hairdresser, and now she has a hair care line. She's also from New Orleans. And there have been plenty of rumors and prophetic words about how that family is heavily involved in witchcraft. What was that one girl that was like really dark and stuff? Kat Von D? She turned her life over to God now, but she was involved in witchcraft and stuff. What's that little short lady, Rick Owens' wife? She's a witch. It's a whole bunch of them. That's why you gotta be discerning when you go shopping for stuff, because you be like, they do pray over their stuff. They do curse their items. They do root work or witchcraft to try to increase their sales, to make it more appealing to people. When you're not paying attention, you're not going to see it, but it's just so in your face. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's like, wow. Yeah, witches and warlocks heavily involve themselves in all things beauty, salons, makeup, skincare, that type of stuff. And it's not even just like the beauty industry. Any industry or category you could possibly think of, there is a warlock, a root worker, a witch that is in there, a Satanist that is in there. They are literally everywhere. People think that they're just like rare or you're not going to come across one. I've never met one in my life. I guarantee that you have. That is why, as a believer, you need to stay prayed up. You need to be aware, because a lot of Christians walking around thinking that everybody else is a Christian or that they belong to another type of religion that is mainstream. And it's like, no, there's a lot of people out here who believe in a whole bunch of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with Muslims. They ain't got nothing to do with Hindu or Buddhism or none of that mainstream stuff that we know about. There are people who practice other things that we have no idea, we don't learn about. And most Christians are not aware, nor are they equipped to deal with people like that. And also, people who practice a lot of those things do not like Christians. Some of them have dedicated their lives to ensure that they attack every single one if they can. And so you just got to be careful. And some of them really believe that they're doing good work. They really think that they're doing good. And it's yeah. Not that. No.
I 100% agree with her when it pertains to a lot of people that are involved in the dark arts working inside of these salons as well as barbershops. Me, myself, I have fell victim to these type of strategies happening to me behind the scenes before I became more aware of how these type of things work. And this is why I tell you, unless you have an awakening, you can fall victim to many things that you wouldn't have recognized until your eyes were completely open. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this.
There you go. So that's one, self-explanatory. Y'all can leave comments in the chat. Oh, this one here. Oh, this is a dynamite video. Yeah, I like this one here.
Plane, sure, they taught us that it melanin on the physical plane, sure, they taught us that it helps with pigment and skin pigment and things like that, but on a spiritual plane, it can hold light. It can hold light. So the more melanin you have, the more light you can hold and the more power you have. And so that's why a lot of these indigenous nations, okay, in Africa, all over the world really, in Native America, right, and all over the world, these indigenous cultures have been systematically on purpose persecuted, because through not only through the melanin and their ability to hold light, they were guardians of certain lands. It's what's underneath the land. So a lot of people think like, oh, the war for Iraq is for oil, but it's not just for oil. That's what they tell you on the news. Underneath the earth, there's very important portals, and whoever controls these portals controls the energy that flows in and out of Mother Earth. Some people call them stargates. So these indigenous were protectors. They had melanin, they were able to hold the light, and they had specific codes which were protectors of certain lands. But that's why, if you want to say, you know, Columbus and all these other, you know, the history books will tell you one thing, but no, they were really coming to like take the land of the indigenous and to take the protectors of the land out of the land, right? And to control what's underneath the earth. Melanin.
We keep coming back to niggers. You can't get away from niggers. You can't get away from darkness. You cannot. You can't get away from that. So they got problems by them creating a magic war. This is what they've done. Like, and that's how you know it's witches and warlocks behind this situation, because it's like, why is they're not letting her, they're not doing nothing to her. She's breaking all the law. Therefore, she got a contract. You notice he got quiet when I said, oh, who is she, the devil's daughter? I said, oh, well, she must be then. Ain't nobody questioning her? Nobody talking, no one jacking her up? Oh, okay. That's it. That's all I need to know. That's the only thing that I need to know. That's all I need to know to get into full magic mode. That's all I need to know. Oh, this is another one. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, this is the human trafficking one.
Dies in your family.
Check this out.
When someone dies in your family, okay, this is so undetected, untracked. Nobody even thought of this. They tell you you're there, your family member takes their last breath in a hospital. You don't know if they were organ donors or not. And they take the body to the morgue. I'm not saying all morgues, but some people that work for the morgues are on the black market. They're in that industry. Nobody, when the body gets to the funeral home, it's very rare that the family member goes in the embalming room and look to see if all of the skin or the heart or lungs or liver or eyes or whatever are still attached to their loved one. The deal has been made from the hospital to whoever picks up the body to the funeral home, and all funeral homes are not certified and legit, especially individuals who are what you want to call the throwaways, no family members, the ones that just get put in a potter's field or a mass, they're going to be cremated. Nobody ever checked for any of those bodies to see if all of their skin or organs or any of those things were still with that person. That's undetected, under the radar money in the hundreds of millions that go up to the billions of dollars. Most people don't even know that when your loved one, after they're embalmed, they're putting they are inside of a plastic bag that zips up, and then they put the clothes on top of that body that prepare them for viewing. So it's very hard to track that. The closest way of tracking it is when we are able to find out morticians who are unlicensed, are operating illegal funeral home services, or prey on the people who don't have a lot of money to have these funerals. Population that gets targeted are drug addicts, prostitutes who are disconnected from family, or some of them don't have family. It's just unclaimed funds that they are just raking in.
I spoke about this a lot, y'all, when I first started to come to this platform, pertaining to how it is that majority of the time when you're watching people transition, especially in hospitals, they were already chosen, all the way from the family member, all the way down to whoever it is that decided that their organs were going to go on the market or that they were going to be sold. Nothing is what you think it is. And it's time for us to wake up to this. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. I would love to know.
There we go. So is everyone seeing a pattern here? This one is this video is wild.
There's a lot of rich people who get into satanic culture, and I wonder what that is. I recently met some people who had taken like the satanic oath, the rituals and everything, and they said immediately when they did it, their life just skyrocketed. Like they started getting everything, and it reminds me of Jesus getting tempted by the devil. You know, I can give you all the kingdoms of the earth, and then I believe Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this earth, or something along those lines. Evil's winning right now. You can become a very successful person cheating, stealing, all this stuff.
What's Nicole doing? Stealing, lying, cheating, breaking the law. All of that. So this is why I said we don't need to play this game with the Wizard of Oz. I'm pulling the drapes down. I know there's satanic influence at that Edmonton Law Courts, Edmonton Police, Edmonton Crown, Edmonton Calgary. I know this. Hey, it's throwing down. This is what I had said a while ago. I said it's going to get to the point where the devil is going to have to come to them and say, you created this. End this. Because this is not going to stop. And that creates more adversaries for the devil, because now their enemies see what I'm doing and they use this information against them. Now they got a problem. Oh, now we know how to hit them. See, that was a mistake. If you watch that movie Star Wars, Clone Wars, in that movie, there's a scene where Yoda and Mace Windu realize their power to use the Force has been diminished. And so Mace is saying we need to inform the Senate that our powers to use the Force has been diminished. And Yoda said, only the Dark Lord of the Sith knows of our weakness. If informed the Senate is, multiplied our adversaries will. So him and Mace had to keep their mouths shut because they could not foresee the creation of the clone soldiers. So I've done what the Sith Lord has done. I know what their weakness is, publishing, and I have all the information. Now it is out there. They cannot cover this. So their hierarchy of Satanists are going to say, this now is a problem. Now we're dealing with interdimensional portals on the city, through the city, under the city, over the city of Edmonton that was triggered by an egotistical woman trying to get something, steal something she was not entitled to. That makes the government of Canada vulnerable. And before anybody wants to, say, well, what do you mean? The government, the former Minister of Defense admitted there are extraterrestrials. Canada Minister of Defense admitted there are extraterrestrials that worked in the Canadian government, US government, so they know there's extraterrestrials on the planet. So they're trying to slowly introduce themselves so as not to cause a shock to the nervous system of humans. Unfortunately, since the Dracos and the Greys don't honor nothing, that's their modus operandi. I put the code out and then we're not going to follow it. It's like, no. So they leave me no choice but to pull down the veil. So this video here, I'm going to play it again.
There's a lot of rich people who get into satanic culture, and I wonder what that is. I recently met some people who had taken like the satanic oath, the rituals and everything, and they said immediately when they did it, their life just skyrocketed. Like they started getting everything, and it reminds me of Jesus getting tempted by the devil. You know, I can give you all the kingdoms of the earth, and then I believe Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this earth, or something along those lines. Evil's winning right now. You can become a very successful person cheating, stealing, all this stuff.
So how is Nicole got no money, no job, but she got a car? She could travel back and forth. She's buying wigs every 7 days. Expensive ones at that. Breaking the law. Nobody touch her. Nobody question her. Committing fraud. Nobody's doing anything. So don't tell me there's no satanic element at the Edmonton Police Services. We already did our ritual. The sun is the confirmation. We sent information when we did that sun ritual a year ago, and we did that ritual August 12th. The sun is sending the waves here, because see, there's a lot of times you'll get hit with energy. You won't necessarily feel heat, but you'll feel like a tremor, something going on. You'll feel that happening. So this is what it means. So this is a confirmation of what's going on. So when you are faced with things of this nature, this means, well, what do? When you're doing everything on paper and they're dishonoring, that means you have to be doing your magic. That's what that means. They doing it. I watch all the anytime I see somebody who is a Satanist or a former Satanist, I watch their documentary. I watch that. They telling me how this stuff gets down. I watch that. I learn from the Satanists what they do. Oh, this one here. See, next thing. This is what I said. They're full. These governments are full of it. Now this guy. He's real good on the social media. This guy here, real good. Ex-CIA.
I have somebody I could call right now, and within about 30 minutes, we would probably have all of your passwords that you use for all of your devices in your personal home.
Pass me my phone.
When any business person travels to a hostile country, they're almost always surveilled. Their hotel rooms can be rifled through. There's people called bumbling surveillance or watchers who will usually follow you. I'm not sure what your travel looks like, but I can almost assure you that if you traveled to Russia, if you traveled to China, if you traveled to Cuba, you had a watcher, you had a surveillance team.
Really?
That was watching you.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're wealthy, you're successful, you're an influencer, you're of significance. At the very least, they want to make sure that some petty criminal doesn't hurt you in their country, because that could be a big deal.
Thank you.
But
please continue to surveil me.
But at worst, they could also be scraping your cell phone to pull all of your contacts off the cell phone so that they could then reach out to any of the contacts that you have on your cell phone. They could scan and duplicate your hard drive as you go through secondary or go through immigration in a foreign country.
They can scan my hard drive as I go through immigration?
Absolutely. We can do that here in the United States too.
What, so if I land in the United States, how would they do that?
There's different authorities that exist for different agencies. So here inside the United States, one of the authorities that we give to our Border Patrol is the authority to essentially scrape data off of all of your electronic devices. So if you're deemed a target of interest, and if you're moved into what's known as a secondary screening, they will separate you from your bags. They'll actually open your bags. They might even tell you to unlock your cell phone or unlock your laptop. And then from there, with technology that's proprietary and technology that's also commercially available, they can scrape and scan your hard drive. There's a good chance that it was cloned.
But I didn't give them my password.
Sometimes they don't need your password.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I have somebody I could call right now, and within about 30 minutes, we would probably have all of your passwords that you use for all of your devices in your personal home.
That's the end of the podcast, Andrew. Good luck with the book. Pass me my phone.
So, when I say there's no privacy, there is none. EPS can't tell me that. They know. They're using Stingray and other things. They had an airplane here for 30 years. The city didn't even know that the Edmonton police had an airplane. It only came out like 2 or 3 years ago. That was flying. Oh, we're, checking on the bad guy. City didn't even know about that. There's no privacy. Told y'all. Once you can walk in the light of the sun, you ain't got to worry about them trying to blackmail you or do anything like that. Or I caught her in a compromising position, or I caught him doing something he wasn't supposed to. You walk in the sunlight, you straight. But if you got a problem with that, you in trouble. What's the next article here? While we on that subject of magic, check this out.
An absolutely real obsession with the spirit world. Okay, I want to show you guys these. The government has an absolutely real obsession with the spirit world. Okay, I want to show you guys these videos of how they use MK Ultra to try to tap into people's minds, but then they also tapped into remote viewing or mediums, and the way that they use these mediums proves that they not only believe in the spiritual world, but they oftentimes try to use these spiritual powers in order to do their own will and desires. Okay, I want to show you this video. It gets crazy. And at one point, they've even tried to take an Old Testament object by using remote viewing. Okay, this is crazy. Let's hop into this video, watch it, and react to it. Before we do me a quick favor, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's hop in.
Of MK Ultra. They were trying to figure out, can we really brainwash people? Can we create Manchurian candidates? Can we split people's personalities? It involved a lot of former Nazi scientists and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive, massive doses of LSD. And it was called Super Spy. These women would lure these men back to the hotel and drug them with LSD. We had like Project Stargate, like the Men Who Stare at Goats movie, and remote viewing and all this other stuff was.
Now, you heard him say remote viewing. Now, when I heard that, I thought that was particularly important. The reason why is because I'm going to show you guys a video of a woman that was on Sean Ryan's podcast that also said that she did remote viewing for the CIA, in which he asked her that if she've ever looked into the cross and Jesus Christ and the resurrection, in which it absolutely spooked her. I did a video on this a while ago, but if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to show it to you. But first, let's finish this one.
Going on. Then they started MK Ultra, which involved a lot of former Nazi scientists and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive, massive doses of LSD and ruining a lot of people's lives in the process. But it was an attempt initially to find some kind of a truth serum. And actually the Navy participated in the biggest one, which was called Project Chatter, which is a sub-project of MK Ultra. And with this guy, he's a professor at I mean, it's in Hamilton, New York. I can't remember the name of the Colgate University. His name's Dr. Georgia Estabrooks. And he and J. Edgar Hoover are collaborating on a plan to use hypnosis to capture and hypnotize a German submarine captain and give him altered identities. And send him back to his fleet in Germany and have him torpedo the entire German fleet inside the harbor.
Okay, so the government was using different tactics to open up, the minds of individuals and get them to do things that they wanted them to do, as the person was saying in that last video. And he mentioned remote viewing. And that caught my attention because I did a video on this woman right here who was a medium and she could do remote viewing. And she speaks on how she was able to do that for the government for quite some time. And then Sean Ryan opens up about Jesus Christ and the cross and the resurrection and crucifixion. And if she ever tried to look into this, in which everything changed with her demeanor after he asked her this question. Okay. And I want to show you that. And it gets deeper than this. Okay. But this is crazy. Let me show you guys that real quick.
Yeah, I cleared myself of it in this life.
Have you tried to look into religion at all, such as the crucifixion? You have? Do you not want to talk about that? Okay. Do you want to talk about, you had mentioned you had a UFO experience.
See how she didn't want to talk about it? I told you the crucifixion is BS. If it was something spiritual and positive, that's the foundation of this world on Christianity. And here it is, a remote viewer will not talk about the crucifixion. The word tells you crucifixion. Cruise-see a fiction. Not real. And she don't want to talk about it. So that tells you the whole thing was fraud. Let's go back to the video.
Experience.
Yeah, but I was 13 years old.
Okay, so this remote viewer was having conversation with Sean Ryan throughout this entire podcast. And then the moment he brings up Jesus Christ and the resurrection, she gets absolutely silent. And you can see in her eyes that there was a large amount of distress and worry in her eyes. And she said nothing. She barely could even move her head. And a lot of people found that quite strange, but there was some people that rejected this and said that, hey, she's just not trying to expose the fact that Jesus wasn't real. Maybe she went and looked and Jesus wasn't real. Okay. And I believe that that's 100% false. But I want to show you guys some other individuals that the CIA actually used for remote viewing. And he's actually going to show you how this works in real time. They actually recorded him doing this, and he's going to show you how it works in real time. Okay. Because I do believe that these people possess the abilities to do this, but I don't believe that it's coming from God. I believe that it's coming from a different God, a lowercase g.
Okay. So now he's going to see he's based on his Christianity. Right. And he's not getting that it's not coming from God. I thought God created everything. And who's the one that created evil? God. Because God said the good and evil, I create both.
Satan and his angels and his demons giving these people these abilities.
You've never met, and who may even be thousands of miles away, and literally see through their eyes so vividly that you can describe precisely what they're looking at. It's called remote viewing. And one of the world's finest exponents who's worked for people at NASA is sitting right over here, Joe McGonigal.
In my opinion, everything that we see taking place in today's society with the spiritual awakening and people becoming more conscious to the fact that spirituality is real and it's being used against us, it's always been being done, y'all. They've been controlling us by way of using spiritual tactics forever, and we're just now beginning to awaken to it because of the energy that's on the planet. There's nothing new under the sun. Y'all let me know what y'all think about.
All right, so that's a good one there. Let's see here. Okay, this is all her. See, let me see if this one here is magic. Let's try this one first. Magic. So there is no getting away. Oh, Guardians of the Land. Okay, so there's no getting away from this. You can't just fight on paper. You got to be doing magic. And when the government's using magic, oh gosh, this is fabulous. Oh yeah, this one here. Oh yeah, he done told on Martin Luther King.
It specifically related to black people. Martin Luther King said specifically related to black people and civil rights, I'll speak slowly for you, that he believed at the end he led them into a burning building. The reason why is because the laws of integration did not catch up with what he would like to present. Black people weren't ready to integrate. As a result, he said, I may have led my people, that means his people, into a burning building.
There you go. There you go. Burning building. Next up, let's see here. I'll see if this, make sure this isn't the same magic one. Ah, this is a good one. Yes. Okay, I'm going to play all of this, and this will be the last one. This is a New York City gangbanger. Reveals how he became a warlock and practiced witchcraft.
As I was growing up in the streets, I got introduced with 21 Divisions. 21 Divisions is starting off with Dominican Voodoo. I went into a gathering, like a house. And then when I walked into the house, I thought it was just a regular, like, you know, gathering, partying and stuff like that. And when I went into there, they were doing spiritual sacrifices, rituals, and stuff like that. They all started with a gathering in a circle, doing prayers, trying to bring the spirits up. And I was intrigued. I was like, wow, this is like so dope. Like, I never saw this in my life. And you could see, you know, spirits going into people, and they will start manifesting. And if you don't know what manifestation means, is when a spirit comes inside of you and it starts becoming that person. The spirit becomes them, and they start doing rituals, smoking cigars, drinking, talking about your life and what you, who you are in life. And there was one spirit that came towards me, and he says, you don't know who you are. He says, you're very powerful, and we could use you. And I said, like, I was intrigued by that. I was like, yeah, like, I want that power. I want that. I want that fame. I want the money. I want the riches, because I just came from getting released from baseball, and I lost everything. I pretty much lost everything. So I wanted the fame. I wanted the money. I wanted the lights. So they said, okay, we're going to start doing these rituals with you. You start getting baptized, start doing the perfumes. So when they started doing the perfumes and stuff like that, the spirit started coming inside me. And as the spirit started coming inside me, I started getting this anger, this rage, and I became somebody that I wasn't at all. When I was growing up, I was raised by my mother, I was raised by my sister. I became this angry man that started selling drugs, that started gang banging, because I wasn't gang banging yet. I started gang banging as I got older, because a lot of people that would come to these meetings were rappers, drug dealers, and people who want the same power. And I didn't know that, because they made it seem like it was God, because they also believed in Jesus. They also believed in other things. And I didn't read the Bible. I didn't know the difference. The Bible says that we should not be worshiping idols. I didn't know that at that time, because I was so lazy not wanting to read the Bible. So I was so intrigued. I was like, yo, I just want that power, like that same power that you have, how I can just walk on fire, how I could just speak to people's lives, and I want to help people, but I don't know how to do it. So they started teaching me how to read cards. They started teaching me how to do spiritual baths and baptism and stuff like that. And I became this warlock throughout this whole thing, I became this warlock. But before I became this warlock, I started being disobedient. I don't know if you know what disobedient is, but disobedient is basically like I was doing my own thing. I wasn't following orders, you know. The same thing as gangbanging, the same thing as you were in prison. You have to follow order of a leader or anything. And I didn't want to follow their order. I wanted to do my own thing. So what they did was they put a curse on me. They put a picture of me into a pot and made me sick. So after a couple months later, I lost my kidney. I lost my kidney. I don't have diabetes in my life, in my family's life. I don't have none of that. Heart disease, yeah, but I didn't have no heart problems. The only thing that they found was I lost high blood pressure. I had a lot of high blood pressure, and I was going to work. And when I went to work, I was getting these bad headaches, and I was telling my foreman at that time, I was doing scaffolding. It's like, I got a lot of headaches. I'm about to go to the hospital. He said, all right, go to the hospital and tell me like what's going on. So when I went to the hospital, they found out my blood pressure was over 200. And when I went there, they were like, you know, they did my blood work and they were like, you know, you lost your kidneys. I was like, how? Like, I'm fine. I'm healthy. Like, how's this happening to me? You know, like I was one, I didn't understand about kidney disease. And I want to encourage people, like right now, like take a yearly checkup of your body. Please check your body yearly to see what's going on with you. Because I didn't know what kidney disease was. And I thought I was going to be fine. Okay, I got kidney disease. Am I going to go home now? Like, no. You have to do a emergency surgery to get a catheter so that we could do dialysis and take out all the toxics out of your blood and all the fluid that's inside of you and clean it up, and then you could be much better. So I was in the hospital, and as I was in the hospital, I was there. They did the surgery, they did the catheter. I ended up going into the dialysis center that they have in the hospital, in Jamaica Hospital in Queens. And I had to be there for 4 hours in the machine. Within that 4 hours, my blood pressure dropped from 200 all the way down to 64. And when it went down to 64, I caught a cardiac arrest and I died. I went black. They had to re-rise me back to life. And after they re-rise me back to life, everybody in my family started crying. They were telling me, you know, you passed away, you died. And I didn't understand at that time. Like, are you serious that I died? Like, I didn't know about that. So as I was there in the hospital, you know, my grandmother came, my aunt came, and they was like, you know, you have to give yourself to Christ. And I said, okay, I'll just go. I'll give myself to Christ. You know, what is it? I almost died. So we did the prayers and all that. And I was in the hospital for a whole month because I didn't have insurance at the time. So within that time, that whole month that I didn't have insurance, I was just there sitting in the hospital, constantly getting dialysis, 4 hours, 3 times a week, 3 days a week, 3 days out of the week. And finally, I got a chance to get out the hospital. And nobody from that I was going into witchcraft, and none of them came to visit me, none of them to check on me or ask me if I was okay, which that was weird to me. That was real weird to me. So I end up, you know, getting out the hospital, going to this church. And I want to talk about this. Like, spiritual warfare is real. Demons are real. I went to this church. I went to go visit my grandmother's church. And when I went to my grandmother's church, I saw a witch there, which I knew because I was a warlock. So there was a witch there. She's not supposed to be there. She's going to a church. So when we went to the church, I saw her. We locked eyes, and we said hi to each other. And as the service was going on, you know, certain churches, if you go to a Pentecostal church, I don't know if you know about Pentecostal churches, but certain Pentecostal churches, you know, they dance and they screaming, hallelujah, they're going crazy. But this Pacific day, this woman was there, I was there, she started manifesting into this demon, and she started speaking in demonic tongues. And then everybody around her started manifesting in a bad way. Like nobody didn't understand this. Like no churches knew about this. And everybody around, they thinking this is God and it's not God. And that woman is having everybody else turn into demons. And then me, I'm watching this. I'm thinking this is cool. I was blind at the time. Like I didn't know like this wasn't a good thing. I thought this was good. So I started seeing people manifest, and I started tapping my cane because I was a warlock. And I'll tap my cane and I'll have other people manifesting around. The pastor starts seeing in this, he says, this is not good. So he shut down the worship. He shut it down. He stopped it. When I saw that, I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, this is not for me. This is not for me at all. So I went back into the lifestyle of being a warlock, but I left 21 divisions. I ended up doing Orishas. Orishas is, you ever heard of Beyonce?
Of course, yeah.
You know Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
So Beyonce worships Ifa. Ifa is Achun from the Orishas. That's who I had. I had Achun, which is the goddess of the ocean. Of the lake, excuse me, the goddess of the lake. And there's another woman called Yemaya. She's the goddess of the ocean. So I transitioned from 21 divisions is Dominican voodoo, into African voodoo. It has African, Cuban, and Haitian voodoo. And when I went there, that's when it got real. That's when I started dealing with big-time drug dealers, big-time artists. I'm not going to say who are they, but they were big-time artists that were paying. They were paying the high priest that I was going under, paying him so that they can get fame. And they would use the music of the African beats as samples into their music, to conjugate people to like their music. It's bugged out, but it's true. And then the drug dealers, they would pay off the high priest to protect them from the cops, protect them from the ops and stuff like that. As I was growing.
Okay. So, does everybody understand? They don't teach you this in school. They don't talk about this in university. When I told people years ago, we incorporating magic in our commercial affairs, now you see. Go ahead, X-Man. I can't hear you. Nope, I'm hearing sound, but I'm not. So whether you got to come closer, your mic is on. It says your mic is on. No tip. No tip. Check your sound. Type it in. Ain't nothing wrong with typing it in. I'll speak it. Tua. I just heard a sound just now. Yeah, now it went out. I'll leave the mic on just in case it clears up. So there you go. Like there's no getting around this. I have the I got all the Necronomicon books. So if anyone knows about Necronomicon, I got all of them. So I know police officers use sigils when they go on duty for protection. So if a gangbanger is using voodoo for protection, what do you think the police is doing? Fairty, go ahead.
Rawat White One, Rawat everyone. I really enjoyed this. It was that call with Todd. Oh Todd, that's what Nefernafu said, had me going. Oh Todd. It was pathetic. And working inside, I'm a witness to officers trying to fabricate shit, after giving tobacco to inmates or doing whatever. They do that. That's what they do in the hut. They're totally fraudulent. They totally don't know the law. And there was too much silence. And that he's done. They probably gonna demote him for even calling you. That's how I feel about that. But I am a witness to yeah, the root workers. I was seeking to be initiated into a house for Orisha in St. Pete, and I would go on Sunday mornings. That would be the best time that the Ifa said to come by because it was quiet and showing charts and showing how to do the baths. But one particular thing I would see on Sunday morning was a lot of women coming with those big church hats.
Sure.
And they would be coming in, and one I had told the brother that was bringing me, and I said, "Hey, man, this is a church lady, that the pastor's wife." So yeah, they would come in before church service, get a package, and sit right there on the front row, touching everybody that they could. So yeah, that it is real. I'm a witness to that. So you don't know who to trust.
Well, this is why you have to have your discernment, and you have to really scan people. It's one of the main reasons. I don't want to miss into a towel hat for that. Like I said, your confirmation goes again. So this is what we're dealing with. So, like I said, I was very much content, honoring the planes, and now for this to happen, it's just like, and you're seeing all this is confirmation, different people confirming magic. We're gonna get into the reptilians real quick here.
And also, as a member of Atsikata, I always they want to touch me. I go patimta. I don't shake hands. I don't have any contact with anyone. And then what they do, you're in a conversation or workers in your house doing whatever, they'll put the hand out when they're leaving, like you knew when you came in that I don't touch, but they're trying you because the whole time they're thinking this guy didn't shake my hand, and they'll reach out and I go patimta, and they go, "Oh yeah, that's right. Have a great day." So you don't know who it is that's saying I gotta touch you.
Well, another thing is if you get yourself a copper ring or a silver ring, for those of you that have to shake, get yourself a copper ring or a silver ring and put it on your right hand.
I got a big thing. I keep it with me always.
Or copper bracelet on your right hand.
Correct.
All right, towel hat for that. Much appreciated for the confirmation and the witnessing.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated, Elder. X-Man saying again, his number is 1-513-225-4135. So the number is 513-225-4135 for those that want to get connected with us doing a live mentory, dealing with music, anything music and sound along those lines. So much appreciated for that clarification. Let's see, there's two more videos. I know we were supposed to end, but two more videos real quick here because they're not long. Can't forget Sabrina because I wanted to show a whole bunch of hers, but I'll show one of Sabrina's. This is another aspect that we cannot ignore with your aura. Oh yeah, this is a clip. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to play this here. Yep, this will work.
Personal area network is you. Whoops, again. And everyone went, there's no 5G. And I'm like, this is information communication and technology. We don't do conspiracy theory, we do deployment. What are you talking about? And it didn't stop there. Wow, color me shocked. So I'm like, all right, pardon my coffee stained sign. Command and Control C4 ISR Net, September 14th, I think 2022. Multi-domain sensing system with high accuracy detection and exploitation system. This is one of my signs that's up for redo. This is with the Army, talking about how they're going to have the multi-domain sensing system with SOSMOS, OSA, CMOS, and FACE, and all their sensors, longer ranges, and it'll be globally deployed and provide a multifaceted sensing capability at higher altitudes with longer ranges. And the goal is to provide deep sensing intelligence collection of indicators, warnings, electronic order of battle, and patterns of life for target development. And none of you stopped and backed up and were like, I think I should probably go look up some of that. Nope. Easier to call people names and insult people who read college textbooks. You weren't expecting that anybody would catch up with you and be pissed off. So the very first sign I made, it said personal area network, machine to machine. Here's the striker. There's the drone. And it's going right through your body on the W-band relay. And I'm like, whoa. How is it that the body itself is going to be relaying a signal from a drone to another bone? Welcome to Lavender AI and Gospel and all the way that Israel just deployed stuff and showed it last year. And we have it too. Osiris and Hades and all sorts of things. And I said, you need to tell them they're tethered to the cloud. Personal area network.
Tethered to the cloud. What's the other one here? Oh, Reptilians Among Us. Okay, great.
Costume this year. This was Heidi Klum's Halloween costume this year. One of Kim Kardashian's recent Halloween costumes.
During a live TV show, Brazilian presenter Silvio Santos shocked everyone when his teeth started to look terrifying. They appeared sharp and pointy. His teeth even seemed to change shape constantly, like they were trying to return to normal. It clearly wasn't bad oral health either, because this is what his usual smile looks like. But the strange part is, he wasn't the only one. Many other famous personalities had also been caught on camera with their teeth transforming the same way. All these videos couldn't be just a coincidence. Could this be a slip that revealed their true identity?
There's a few places in the Bible where God sends fiery serpents among the people. They walk among us. They live among us. They're out to get us. Jesus gives every one of his followers the authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall hurt you when you are a follower of Christ. This is a built-in protection for this type of thing.
What's your problem? I said, what's your problem? All right, today, sir. Okay, bye, thank you. Thank you, sir. Here you are, sir. Thank you.
God is a perfect judge. He has to allow them to do certain things when we transgress, because we've now broken our part. Now they have legal grounds over us, and I'm talking, yes, about the fallen and the reptiles and whatever else they are. The judgment is supposed to act as something that shakes people awake. So if you have eyes to see and you understand what's going on in the world around you, please, please, please ask God to show himself to you. He absolutely will. Grab a Bible and join us. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them, for it is shameful even to speak of the things that they do in secret. But when anything is exposed by the light, it becomes visible, for anything that becomes visible is light. Therefore it says, awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. When you're a follower of Christ, you literally stomp on these things. They have zero power over us. If you do not know Christ, now is the time, now that these things are starting to show themselves.
Very good one. And once they say Christ is a nigger, then yes, until then, they're deluding themselves. Let's see this one here. Okay, good. Oh, this is, okay, gotta play this one.
Because in Ukraine, there is high...
Okay, so I was talking with somebody talking about Ukraine earlier today.
These pills are mostly trafficked in Ukraine and Mexico. Because in Ukraine, there is high rates of human trafficking. And there is a son to a certain president who is also highly involved, superpower country, who is also highly involved in human trafficking. And what do? They take that hydrochrome from their victims, and that drug is very expensive. This is a business, a multi-million business.
Billion,
yes. They are making billions of money from this business. And
actually, in the United
I will
States,
show them the images of this drug.
In the United States, 800,000 children disappear annually. Between 2,000 and 4,000 disappear every day in the United States.
Yeah.
800,000 children disappear annually every year in the U.S. And amazingly, they're never found. Those children are never found. So where do you think they're going? And that's just the U.S., leave alone any other country in the U.S., in the world.
Yeah, and then this drug that's the name of the drug. It's called adrenochrome monosaccharides. We'll write it down for you, and then we'll put the drug on the screen so that people can be able to see what we are talking about. And then the tablets are called the Luciferian drugs because they are not normal. They are not human. This is a mission of the enemy. It takes a person who has sold their souls to the enemy to come up with such an idea. And this drug is really taken by these actors and actresses and musicians and soccer players. All these celebrities, most of them take this drug so that they can keep young, they can keep fit, they can keep... You find this soccer player, playing more. These pills are mostly...
Okay, so there we go, confirmation. Like that's what I said. I really trust that the city of Edmonton, EPS, I'm sure, because there's some Zoom user on here, so I don't know who they are. I really trust that they're watching this because I know what they're doing. And see, that was the mistake. I was minding my own business. We talking about intergalactic confederation. We talking about human rights and that. I wasn't interested in this. I knew about it. I talked about it a little bit, etc. Now that they came into and breached the spiritual plane, now I gave the spiritual planes the authority, because I have it as plenipotentiary of the earth, to come into this plane, because I'm saying if you don't, they'll come into your world. Not that they're going to really take them over. It's just the aspect of them really deludingly thinking they can go into the spiritual plane and dominate the spiritual plane. Or like, what's his name said in what was it, the Avengers? He said, when you mess with time, time has a tendency to mess with you. And so this is where it is. Let's see, I'm just gonna do one last one here with Sabrina, and that's it. What happened? Yep, you used up all Ab's internal storage. We know. So I can't do any videos. I gotta go look through that and clear some of them out.
Check some batteries on the camera?
Potentially. Okay, so let's watch this last video with Sabrina, and then that's it, okay? All right, and then we're done.
I told the truth about the biology and showed it to you with cognitive neurology. You were not interested. Now you want me to believe that you're all wired up about nano products. Good. Well, you should also be chewing the ass of all the people that lied about 5G towers. I expect to see that douche canoe on the YouTube vilified, crucified, and made fun of for lying to so many people. And all those on the X with their bullshit X quantum stuff. You all lied for 25 years with the National Nanotechnology Initiative that none of you sane people could find. It's nano.gov. And while you're busy screaming at all these alleged, the bioelectronics wellness company people and all these other people that are making good money, and they will be off of these wearables. Well, how can you say that? Because your health isn't going to work the way it used to. These grid systems are made out of human bodies and photons, not your fucking towers. I told you that, showed you that. 25 years National Science Foundation. 15 years of universities, human augmentation laboratories, universities. College students downtown DC this year. You're still screaming bioweapon, but you're so high on the hog that you don't advocate for the methylene blue or the nano gold. I'm right there with you. I advocate for zero nanotechnology. It's hard to avoid. Pretty much fasting, drinking water, and exercising weird, moving around where you sleep in your house to do your best to avoid these networks and using your biofield in order to heal yourself with your own vibration. I told the truth about the
There you go. So that's it. Ahmad, we're done for today?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say Rawat, everyone. You can do what?
Camera.
I'm going to put the camera big. Oh, you want me to put the camera big? Okay, let me put the camera big. Okay, let me put the camera down.
Hi, Chloe. Hi.
That's not.
Hi.
All right, everyone. Oh, what's this? What's this? We're done. We're done. We're done. Rawat. Hold on. Where is it here? What happened here? I think it's on this one. Nope. There we go. Rawat.
The other machine because the other device not camera. It's not
No problem. Well, we're finishing up now here. So is there anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I wanted to find out if you saw the document, the declaration.
No, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen your, but I'll look for it over the weekend.
And I sent it from G.
Okay, so I'll look for it then.
Stay out of this video. But if you want to watch more of my videos, you know what to do. Yeah, just search for my name.
All right, so we're packing it in for tonight. Tawa, we're packing it in for this shout out. So Tawa, Baba Cindy, I'll look for your email. Hotep. All right, everyone, the first shot. Kashikadur. 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 Good to see you.
Video. But if you want my videos, you know what to do. Just search for my name. And ANTIBNP.
Hotep. Kashikadur.
Kashikadur.